Oh, 1-2, check Chuffy 1-2. This going live thing is starting to annoy the piss out of me as well now. I'm actually in a bad mood to start with. Hi, you're with Scott. I'm Super Chuffer. No. Can you hear me? I'm so loud, sorry. Oh, 1-2, check Chuffy 1-2. This going live thing is starting to annoy the piss out of me as well now. I'm actually in a bad mood to start with. Hi, you're with Scott. I'm Super Chuffer.
Awful.
No. Can you hear me? I'm so loud. Awful. I'm really disappointed with that. I've changed the thumbnail. The thumbnail hasn't changed, look. Oh, it has changed now. Okay, so that's calmed me down a little bit. I just logged on, set everything up, started stream. You couldn't hear me. That episode's now going in the bin. And what's different? Nothing. I updated OBS and the drivers, obviously. I don't know, something computer related. It needed turning off and back on. Oh, that annoyed me a little bit, to be honest. I'm already tired. I'll tell you for why. Today what we're doing is we're doing the Behaviour panel. We're having a look at the Behaviour panel's poor show discussing Nicola Bulley. I want to call it the Nicola Bulley case, but we can't call it the Nicola Bulley case because the police never opened up a case file. It's a missing person. So the Nicola Bulley story. They did a really bad job, didn't they? There's 2 hours of their video. We probably won't do all of that tonight, but I want to do a couple of little business bits before we start. Thank you very much on the tippies. This will calm me down. Thank you very much on the tippies to Marcia Cummings, Jessie Cat and Snips, who all bought me tippies while we were offline. So I really appreciate that. Let me say a big hello to everyone in chat. We did have a few more in chat on the first run of this stream, just literally 10 minutes ago. Hopefully they'll pop back and they'll find us. Hello Brian. Hello Lev Kung Fu Shaolin. Hello Rose. Hello Sarah. Hello Bonnie Scott. Hello Magda. Hello Katie Kitten. Hello Bob Smith. Hello The Bishop. Hello Cell Energy. Hello Melody Harris. Hello Wendy Shepherd. Hello Danke lieber nicht. I prefer not to. Hello Pink Soda. Hello Marisol. Hello Neil. Have I already said you, Neil? Hello Richards. And I'm starting to see names repeat now. Hello Chris. Hello Behind the Sash and Crown. Yeah, hello Dina. Hello Curious Cat. Hello Main Coon Mischief. Hello Pam. Hello all of you. I'll tell you for why I'm tired. I'll tell you what we're doing today is the Behaviour panel. So we'll have a look at those videos. I've never watched them yet. You can see no red lines here. There's a bit of a red line on this one where I started to watch it. And I was like, what the chuff are they saying? What are they doing? So I stopped watching it. And I also felt with this Nicola Bulley stuff, I didn't want anyone else's ideas to infect mine. So I've not watched anyone else's stuff until you in chat have brought it to my attention. And then I've gone and looked at it and we've referred to it. So I'm getting my ideas out of my head. They're getting their ideas out of some... you know what I said the other day? I do feel like a couple of them, I don't want to point any fingers anymore. I'm going to leave that where it was. But a couple of them seem to think very similar things to what we said on streams, didn't they? But that's the way of the world, I suppose. I've got my dander up. I've got my egg on. Why have I got my egg on? So, a little bit of business first. Send a voice message to Super Chuffer. I'll try and get this in the description as well, which I haven't done yet, because I'm an idiot. But here it is in chat. Send a voice message to the Super Chuffer. On Sunday service, that's what I want for this Sunday. We're going to trial run. I don't know when the best days for streaming are, really. I don't know when the best days for you are to watch a stream, you know. But I do notice YouTube sends me some statistics. And one of the statistics was that a lot of people are on YouTube on Sunday evenings. Sunday 12 o'clock in the afternoon onwards. Sunday afternoons, they're on YouTube a lot. So maybe I should be as well. Maybe we should be as well. If you're, you know, thinking, what should I do this Sunday? Spend a bit of time on the old YouTube. I can be here as well. We can do a stream. I don't really have a plan for it. And I tell you what, I don't want to get heavy and hard and, you know, and I also don't want to go too wild on a Sunday either. I want it to be chilled and relaxed, I think, for me. That's how I feel anyway. So like my usual Sunday plan involves walking the dog in the woods, giving him a bath and settling down in the afternoon, maybe do myself some nice dinner. I'm prepared to try and get my dinner done earlier, get the dog walk done earlier and come on a bit later. Or I could push my dinner back and then do this Sunday service after the dog walk. So we've sort of got to decide on the right sort of time.
Be happier. Swish and then whoosh.
I haven't even got my coffee thing on the screen. Look, I'm sorry about that. You usually get your name on the screen. I'm not prepared. There it is. Willow the dog. You chuffers. So I don't know what's going to happen on Sunday. And we've got super chats coming as well. Keeb, $4.99 on the super chats. You've gone top of the leaderboard. But straight away, you've been knocked off by Curious Cat, $9.99. Big tippies on the leaderboards there. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. We'll have a look at Willow the dogs as well. I want to know what you want to do on a Sunday. I want to know. We'll work it out together over a course of a few months, I'm sure. So we'll see what happens. But Sunday show, I think, is a good day as well to maybe open up the speak pipe. I think that's probably a good idea. Please can I adopt you, because Paul won't take you for walks and Emma smells like Kippers. If I were you, Willow, I'd move in with the grandparents. I think that's the best place for you. I imagine that you're already there, actually, to be honest. But who am I to say that? Whoops. Who am I to say that? Some people have been getting eggy. I'll tell you what, some people have been getting eggy. I get all the right people tipping me. I get Willow the dog, I get Paul Ansell. I don't think we've had Emma yet. She was on a work meeting. But you've had quite a few of the wider cast. I also want to show... Okay, so I want to show you a couple of things. We're doing the... Get my head together. We'll get into the show, right? We're doing body language behavioural panel. We're doing that. But I'm doing this bit of admin first. If you want to send a message to the voice speak pipe, I play it on the stream. It's about a minute 30 long. Send as many as you want. Please don't go higher than 2. If you start sending 10 or 5 and then someone else sends 5, then we've got... Oh, it's Mother's Day, isn't it? It's Mother's Day. Maybe we don't do it this Sunday. Good point, Richard. It's Mother's Day. Well, I see, the thing about Mother's Day is that my mother is actually going to be away. That's why I didn't realise she's going to be away.
It's raining again.
We'd planned our Mother's Day for a different day.
Swoosh, and then whoosh.
Do you know what I might do? I might do a special Mother's Day edition. I might make it a really laid-back, random edition. We'll just watch a few little clips. We'll just do a few little speak pipes. See, you know, if you want it, we'll do it. If you're all doing Mother's Day, we won't. You know, it's a hard one, isn't it? Every Sunday's different for different people as well. People might have... somebody bought me a coffee. They regularly do. Thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate it. I assume it's always the same somebody. It could be different somebodies. Oh, this is Chase the Ace. This actually says it. Why does it say sorry? Oh, maybe you don't want to put your name on. Oh, sorry, I said it. I said it. I always check it and say thanks. I'm sorry. Well, yeah, anyway, thank you. Mother's Day is in May. Sunday roast day. When is Mother's Day? Might be different around the world. See, I'm getting off track now. Sunday, March the 19th. It's this, for England, it's this Sunday. My mom is not going to be in the vicinity of where I am, so we're going to be doing a different day. She always says to me as well, she says, get me the flowers after Sunday, because they're always expensive. So I always go on the Monday and I buy up every, you know, reduced to clear. But maybe like you, some of them, maybe like me, I didn't buy a card, yeah, not yet, no. Maybe like me, I tend not to with Mother's Day. I'm not a big one for Mother's Day. I mean, obviously birthdays and Christmas and stuff, but my mom's not like that. She's always been, like we used to go and see Nan. You know, we used to do more for Nan, but obviously she's dead now, so. Tickety Boo says you were born on Mother's Day and then put up for adoption. Oh, although, you know, interesting life. Interesting life. Yeah, so we'll think about what we're doing.
It's raining again. I couldn't be happier.
We'll open it as a concept. You're tipping me. I'll tell you what, thank you. I'm very grateful. We haven't even started the show yet, so like, I might run a really bad show and piss you off, and then you're like, I want my £3 back. Discovered your channel a couple of weeks ago, and you're loving it. Keep up the good work. Thank you very much. Thank you. I really appreciate it. It is actually making a huge difference to me now. I've been running a YouTube channel for about 2 years without... I've done YouTube before, and I've done other media as well. We've got Super Chats in the house as well, look. We've got... BC Let Jog, which I find difficult to pronounce. Hey Choffer, you're still playing that house flipping game? Yeah, I am. It called after, yeah, on the B-side. Okay, well, yeah, good point. Okay, so maybe we do that on the Sunday. Maybe that's the sort of vibe we go for. We listen to messages and we play a really chilled out game. Let me show you a couple of things then. So I've done the coffees. I've done the voice messages. I've, you know, told you that's coming. I also want to introduce you to the Discord, which is now closed because I restarted my computer. People have been asking me, how do you send me things? You can send me an email, although I don't like it very much. Right? Let me just go on to... This is such a brain ache for me. Okay, me. And invite people and copy. Okay, and now close this. I'm going to put it in chat. This is Discord, right? Discord is like a messaging service. It's like Skype. It's like MSN. It's all rolled into one. It's its own program. You get an app on your phone. It's very much what the young people these days are using to do. Or maybe they don't. maybe the young people used to use this. Now it's 10 years out of date. I don't know. But what it is, it's like you have your own forum on there. You have your own page. So I've got a Ganjikidd, it's called because of what I used to be called on the internet or whatever. I've got a Super Chuffer page essentially, and you go on there and you can drop pictures and videos, and you can even voice chat each other if you like want to. It's got all sorts of stuff on there. I've got my own page, and in that page there is a Sunday service one and a Nicola Bulley one, true crime one. So you can, to your heart's content, drop stuff in Discord. You can fill it full of stuff. I don't always look at it all the time, I'll be honest. I give it a browse every now and then. If you say, oh, how do I send you a video? Discord. How do I send you a picture? Discord. I don't really want to go on my emails and have to trawl through all the emails. I get loads of crap emails as well, like, oh, have you considered this company, or have you considered us for your stream overlays, or do you want any art for your stream, or lots of junk emails come in, and I have to go through them. And then I've got personal emails for me, and then I've also got like business that I want to use. And the email's a bit of a funny thing for me, but true bin or a bin a I can't even spell today. Bin. I mean, I hope this is spelled right, true bin. Yeah, out.com. But for those who are desperate to email, there's my email. But I'll be honest, I don't look at it very much, and I don't tend to, if it is personal or it's about something on the show, if it's a please can you watch this video, I like, oh, where do I put that? And then it's in the emails, and I use the emails for the business as well sometimes, like for guests and stuff, so I put them above and priority. I find it very difficult to keep up with the emails. Angie sent me a $5 super chat, so I don't want to miss that. It nearly went past while I was chuffing, so thank you very much. It's all good in the hood. So yeah, if you really want to make sure something goes on the show, either email or Discord. A lot of people have been asking, or mention it in the Sunday service voice messenger. This is this again, and you can even ask me during a show to search it up on YouTube if you don't manage. I do want your voices to be heard. I do want your ideas to come in. I do want your opinions.
I couldn't be happier.
And I also and then swish and then whoosh behind the sash and crown dawn sent tippies. And then I also really appreciate like people have ideas for things, little videos I could watch. It could turn into a whole show. They're good ideas. Have I seen Armchair Detective last video? No, I don't watch his channel. Since he stole one of my videos, I don't watch his channel. Anyone that doesn't know, okay, I'll quickly show you this because it does get on my wick a little bit. Armchair Detective. I think I clicked on one of his videos today. Did I? No, look, no, I didn't. Armchair Detective. If I scroll down here, is it still here? Yeah, full interview. Paul Ansel. Full interview. Paul Ansel, look. 3, 2, 1. So it's monetized. And you can see at the top there, if I just pause that, you see at the top there, it says, it's blue and white at the top. Can you see that at the top? It's blue and white. And if I just turn on my background now, you can see that's my background to my stream, look. That's my background to my stream on the top of his video that he's uploaded. Because somebody had to download Channel 5. They had to edit out all of the bits with the rubbish on, edit together all the Paul Ansel bits, upload it to the internet so that we could watch it on stream. I did that. I put that on a channel called Send Trees. I sent it to Send Trees because I don't want to get the copyright strikes, but I did the work, yeah? So I sent it to Send Trees, who uploaded it. Nicola Bulley channel, look, there it is. This is my video, look, there it is again. That's my video. And then you compare it to the one he's got on his channel, it's the same video. So the Armchair Detective, in his armchair, couldn't be asked to get out of his armchair, could he? What he did was, he went on my channel, Send Trees, my friend's channel, and he downloaded the video entirely, and then just uploaded it to his channel. And that is one of the most scummy things. It's the most scummy thing. Thank you, Pam, for the tippies. It's the most scummy thing you can do on YouTube. He's earned off that video, because it's had 13,000 views, so he's earned some £100 or what. I don't know what his monetization's like. It's in the hundreds, maybe. I don't know. I've not been getting that monetization money myself until just recently, so I don't know. But he's earned money off that, off my work. Yeah, off Channel 5's work, really. But he's making money off that. That's unacceptable. He should give that money to charity. I don't want it. I'm not desperate for the money. It's not about the money to me. It's about the principle. So he should give that money to charity. And anyone that knows Armchair Detective or goes to his channel, you should all be pulling him up on that. People should be having him on that. He's making money off other people's work. He's a scumbag. He's proved it because it's got my stream logo on the top. It's got Ganji written on the top. And if you're watching my stream right now, like, you'll see that it's there on my stream. I used to be called Ganjikidd. It says it on the... Unbelievable. Isn't it? It's unbelievable. That is... he earns nothing. It was monetized. This video was monetized. And he's had, like, thousands of views. His video is monetized. You get it? It's monetized. He's earning the money off the YouTube. That's why he's always... Every day I've got to have a Nicola Bulley video. Every day I've got to say something about Nicola Bulley. Because I'm wringing out her death for money. I'm not trying to solve the case here, Armchair Detective. Armchair Detective is not as interested in solving the case. If he had the damn video of her murder, he wouldn't put it on today. He'd put on a screenshot, and then tomorrow he'd talk about it, and then the next day he'd have a little clip, and then the next day there'd be a bit more. He's wringing it out for views. He's wringing it out for money. Thief is the word, isn't it? He's stolen the video and uploaded it to his own channel. I don't know about the rest of his work. I wonder how much of it is his own work. Do you know what I mean? If he's prepared to rip down someone's entire video, just rip it off the internet, upload it to my channel. And he knows that this smaller channel, Send Trees, with their only 37 subscribers, they can't do anything about it. They haven't got the power to copyright strike. And it's not even... It's Channel 5's copyright anyway. So he gets away with that, doesn't he? He gets away with that one. Well done, Armchair Detective, for your theft and your wonderful loads of views. I bet the people that watch your channel are getting the best stuff straight from the horse's mouth. Or it might be that you steal it from other people and just upload it to your channel. It might be. Well, that is. So have that, Armchair Detective. He lives in Coventry. He's an idiot. He's an idiot, man. I really don't like him. Because of that. You know, because of stealing off me. Really don't like him. So I haven't seen his latest video, no. I wouldn't trust anything he says because he's a thief. Pam brought me a coffee. Thanks to the hard work, onward, but that's it, isn't it? Let's forget him. Something else I wanted to say, though, while we're talking about other channels, is I'm the Super Chuffer, and I've got other channels. Now, I'm not regularly uploading to all of them, but it is good if you subscribe to them. If I can get Ganjikidd or Ganji Arts monetized, and at the moment we're way off, but they're channels that I might change the names, I might change them to Chuffer Cuts and Chuffer Arts or whatever, but those channels, if I can get them monetized, I can hire an editor, and people have been asking me for doing, your videos are very long, you're doing what you're doing now, which is talking a lot at the start, how do we get this edited, you know, where do we get an edited version? Well, I can't afford an editor. I could spend time editing and then upload it for nothing, like because it just takes me time and energy and it's not monetized. So instead I'm doing live streams, but if we can get those channels monetized, I can hire the editor. I can give them the money for the editing off the channel. So one day we will get those shorter form edited stuff going up on those channels. And these are other places you can find me. If I'm playing Genshin Impact, you can have a look at my videos there. This week on Battery Exhausted was a big week for Darkside Filled, the detractors. All sorts of things happened. If you're not into that sort of stuff, if you don't know about it, it's an internet rabbit hole that Steve's more on and I'm a little bit on. And I put it on my B-side channel. So this is a B-side. You know, it's like other stuff, not the main stuff. And we had a big episode, a 6-hour React episode with Steve yesterday. Not even 24 hours ago. So I've been on the internet for a very long time in the last 24 hours. 6 hours of online React and then a further 6 hours of keeping up with the story afterward. So, and yeah, justice for Nicola Bulley. I'll tell you what, that's a really good point in chat. It's not about me being angry about Nicola Bulley, right? If that Armchair Detective had said, can I upload the video? If it had asked me, then I'd have said, yes, upload it. Because I want Nicola Bulley to be found. As many eyes on Nicola Bulley as possible. As many people, you know, sharing the truth. Yeah, let's get there. He could have also gone on Channel 5 and recorded it for himself and edited it for himself. That's an option. He could have done the work. But if he'd have only asked, I'd have been gracious enough to say yes, because I do care about finding the truth behind what happened to Nicola. I'm not aggrieved at the sharing of the information. Yeah, it's a shame that he had to do it that way and blot his copybook, because when people show themselves to be untrustworthy and when people show themselves, I'm a bit like this. Those that have been here on the stream for a long time know this. I'm a bit like this. You know, I've had trust issues in my past with people letting me down. So when they've showed themselves, they get cut off, they get writ off. And Armchair Detective is in a position where we can only take him for his word. The most important thing is his word. And the fact that he's proven himself to be a thief online, that destroys his reputation. It's the same with that ghastly true crime, isn't it? Ghastly true crime. She's destroyed her own reputation recently. I don't know why she would do that. Seems that all you have online in these spaces is your word, and your word is your bond and your reputation. You know, that's what we're going to get on today with the behaviour panel. I'm in a bad mood, so I'm going to lay into them. But I'm tired. I'll tell you what, I'm a bit tired. We've done a big episode yesterday, so that's why I'm tired. So that's Battery Exhausted, the B-side. There is more of me there. If we can get Ganjikidds and Ganji Arts to be monetized, and Mental Health Monday, that would be nice as well. Mental Health Monday, then I can start making more videos on those channels, edited. I can hire an editor, hand them the work, say get on with it. You can take a big cut of the edit money, and then you're happy. So yeah, that's what I've had to say to get started. I think that's everything, isn't it? Let me just check that I've covered that. Yeah, the theft, the fact that we've got other channels and I've been on them. What we're doing today, the behaviour panel. I will tweet then. The final thing to do is to tweet. Okay, so what's happening on my channel right now? Home. Come on, you. This is me. Copy. Okay, I've got that now. Let's tweet it. Let's let everyone know that we're away and we're rolling. And we are, of course, away and rolling. If you want to tweet me at Informal Films, I'm up there. It's probably a better way of getting hold of me these days than me in email, you know, and all that. You know, I can just see it straight up. I do try and keep up with what you're saying on comments. I do try and keep up with what you're saying in the comments of the videos. And I do try and keep up with the ideas that have been shared on Twitter. Oh, it's been such a long intro, 20 minutes. Are you ready for this? Are you ready for this? First of all, in chat, have you watched this? Are you aware of the behaviour panel? What are your feelings? Did you see these videos? And what are your feelings? Because there's a little bit of a delay on chat, okay? So, you know, while you're typing that and while it's coming through, I've left the delay so that we can have the captions so that people in different languages can watch the captions. So there's a little bit of a delay. I'm in a work meeting. Sorry, I can't make it today. I'm in a work meeting. This is the Vodafone voicemail for
It's raining again. I couldn't be happier.
This
And then
whoosh. This is the Vodafone voicemail for 07586340291. I can't come to the phone right now because Emma White is in a work meeting. Thank you very much for the £5 super chats. One word chuffer, brainwashed. No critical thinking. I'll watch you so I don't have to think in between uni assignments, thanks. And there was a super chat before as well that I'd said, oh, that's a good one, and I wanted to think about it more. And it goes off the list now, it's gone. It was CTL, wasn't it? What did they say? CTL, type your comment again if I didn't properly address it. Just type the comment and I'll try and... There it was. No, you've just done that. That's you. Just done that one. Just type that. You don't have to pay again, but what was your first super chat, BC Let Jog? What was your first super chat? Because I was like, oh, that's a good one. I'll talk about that. And then I didn't, or did I? You know, I'm losing my mind now. Hello, Acoustic Gymnastics. Hello, Paris Phone 5. Hello, Deborah Rabbit. Hello, Kerry Koo. Got some new names in chat here today. Manuel Rap. I'm just trying to take in your views and ideas as they go past here. Some people think they're state funded. You had a nightmare about Paul and Emma. Invisible Ray. Interesting things. I used to think that the behaviour panel was quite right, to be honest. Like, before this Nicola Bulley stuff, I thought they were quite right. What was it? I think I was going to say something about the B-side channel, and it was something to do with something, and I've forgotten it. It will never come back to me. B-Slet Jog, what was your first super chat today? What was the first question you had? What was your first super chat, B-Slet Jog? Please tell me. It's on my mind now. I feel like I missed your point. I went on a ramble and I don't know if I said what I was supposed to. Anyway. Yeah, I used to think the behaviour panel were very good, right? I used to think they were very good. And let me just go to their popular videos. Like, I do think they lean on some of these like internet things, like Harry and Meghan. Oh, it's very popular on the internet, isn't it, Harry and Meghan? But it's not really the body language that I give a shit about. Like, I'm not really sat at home thinking, oh, I need to know whether Meghan is feeling the X, Y. I know what she's feeling. She's a chuffer. Do you know what I mean? I know what Harry's thinking. He's a chuffer. So it's easy that. It's like, you get millions of views for it, and it's easy. Oh, the house flipping game. Thanks, right. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. I will quickly. Yes, thank you. Really good point. On this channel that you're getting now, you're going to get these lives. I'm going to do these talking, these episodes, you know, this stuff that we're doing. I'm not always going to do true crime. I'm going to vary it a bit. But we're going to stick on some of the topics that you like. We're going to go for some of the topics that I like. We're going to go around like a carousel with different stuff. If you really like something, don't worry, it will come around again. And if you think this particular, like the other day we did Spirits, Aliens and Cryptids with Detractor Beam, with Ingrid. And she was really cool, really interesting.
It's raining again. I couldn't be happier.
Swish! And then whoosh! Thank you, Kilted. And so you might not be into that aliens and stuff. Like, I'm not really into aliens and stuff. I don't know if I believe that. But somebody else does, and I'm prepared to give them the space to listen to what their feelings and thoughts are these days. Whereas back in the day, I might have poo-pooed them a little bit, you know. So, you know, interesting episode for some people, not for everyone maybe. Fine, you know. But then I understand Nicola Bulley's going to get like 19,000 views and this is not. But I'll still do this other stuff. We'll still do the variety because I like it. I think it's interesting. You can't just eat the same dinner every day, okay? And so on the B-side channel, like on Twitch, I play games. I play Genshin Impact predominantly, but I also wanted a space somewhere on the internet. You need to have some of these lives here for like, I'm quite chill sometimes, right? And I like just being chill. And if I did it on Twitch, I might upload it over here sometimes. For example, the house flipping and the soft body Tetris and these. In my opinion, if you want to go and watch some of my stuff that's chilled for the evening, like for a bedtime, you can. These are probably the best places to go. Look, a choose your own. Do you remember those choose your own React books? Choose your own video books. Choose your own game book. You remember, you know, turn to page 53 if you're going to do this and that. That's a video about them and it's 2 hours long and it's really interesting. Super Chuffer plays House Flipper. Look at this. It's me playing House Flipper. I know what you're going to say. Oh, I don't like computer games, not interested. But it's not that. They're these simulation games that are kind of a bit of fun. And I talk and I'm quiet. Not banging on like I'm doing now. Just chilling. Look here, we're painting a house and stuff. Like fixing it up. Oh, there we go. It's just quite nice chill streams they are. So sometimes I do them on Twitch, sometimes I do them on Battery Exhausted, and I'll upload them as a video there. So have a look there. There might be some stuff. I also do these down the rabbit holes that are chilled, like, you know, at night time while you're watching YouTube and you might watch 10 videos about carpentry. Like, sometimes I'll do that actually live on YouTube and it makes a really nice relaxing rabbit hole. There's an hour of soft body Tetris there. You don't know what it's going to be like until you watch it. They're good videos, in my opinion. A bit of fun over there, a bit of randomness, and some chill out stuff. That's what I aim to upload at the moment. It used to be vegan videos. If you scroll down long enough, you'll get vegan videos. I used to be a bit more condescending. And some music as well. All sorts. It's a bit of a scrapbook.
Raining again. I couldn't be happier.
Pam,
and then whoosh.
I've got tippies off Pam and Louise, so we're going to check the tippies now. Louise Kilted and Curious Cat bought me a coffee as well. Look. Watched your Ouija board videos, says Curious Cat. I was paranormal investigator for 20 years and you could tell me some stories. Maybe you should come on the show sometime and tell me them then. That's the sort of thing we're looking for that variety at the moment. We're interested in the paranormal for a bit. We're going to keep our eyes over that way every now and then, so I really appreciate that. Kilted says good work in the work meeting. You're in the work meeting. Everyone loves the work meeting, don't they? The work meeting's probably the best bit of the streams thus far. So thank you very much to all you who are sending in the tippies. You know, this really makes a huge difference. We're going to use it to go on and do some big things in the future. You just watch this space. Talking of watching this space. So I've done all the shilling. You like watching your children play Minecraft? Yeah, some things can be relaxing, can't they? Some things can be relaxing. I should try a game called Heavy Rain. I'll have a look at it. I will. There's not enough time in the world to play everything, unfortunately, but us being invited to Marsh Farm is an option, yes. What I'd like to do is hire Marsh Farm and just turn up there with my cameras and be like, hey, I've hired it, so shut up. We're going to be peeping around with our cameras. Yeah, anyway, back to the body language panel. Sometimes they're doing things that they want to do for clicks. I've done Prince Andrew for clicks, mate. You know, if you're doing a body language thing, we did it on Thus. You've got to cover it. I get it. You know, I get it. So I'm not really interested in Joe Biden or Meghan Markle or whatever. But some of them I'm a bit more interested in. Like, it's strange. I suppose I watched Amber Heard video, but I knew she was lying anyway. So, like, you know, I didn't need to. But some of them, as you scroll down, for me, get more interesting, where they're more diverse and specific people. I'm sure that I've watched some body language panel and I've been like, this is quite good. You know, these people know a bit about their stuff. I'm sure I've seen them and thought they're quite respectable. I'm just going to pick a random one because they do this thing at the start where they introduce each other, which I've always thought was kind of funny. And it gives me the impression, this is just my instinctive impressions of the show and the people, yeah? It gives me the impression that they are, because they're slightly older gentlemen, and they've got these, like, books and... How do I explain this? I feel like in their own world, they make a living out of body language and stuff like that. And then YouTubers happened and they've been successful on YouTube for whatever reasons, but they're not quite, you know, they're not quite TikTok generation, are they? Let's just say that. They've got their silver play buttons, well done to them. They've got their body language tactics in the background. They're obviously selling a product. Like, whether these interviews and these shows that they do are the main income or whether the product is the main income, I don't know. But, you know, they've got these other things they try and sell. But I also like, that's interesting about them, is that there's different people. So although they're all similar in their outlook in some ways, they are often saying different things. And if you've got contrast in your opinions, that's not a bad thing. Like,
it's raining again. I couldn't be happier.
Thank you very much for the tippies. For me, I've been saying this a lot recently, that I want different voices on the channel. You know, I used to be a bit more stubborn in my opinions, and if I'm bringing opinions to light and talking about things on the internet, then, you know, I'm happy to have other voices, and I think it's important to have other voices, not just my own. So sometimes they don't agree with each other, which is fine. You know, I think that's a good thing about having 4 of them. So they're the things that I think. You watched the Behaviour panel on Paul Ansell's Channel 5 interview. I don't know why they didn't pick up on Paul hiding the fact that Nicola had vulnerabilities. Don't think they were much cop. Yeah, now we've got hindsight as well, so it's a bit easier, isn't it? Maybe that. Let's get into it and have a look then. There were my instinctive overview thoughts. You've told me yours in chat. They're not that consistent, you're saying, some of you. I haven't seen enough of all their stuff to know how consistent. And another aspect, I suppose, is with body language, is that, you know, how do you know if you're what's the word? Like, how do you know if you're getting it right or you're consistent or anything? You don't really, do you? So, like, it's not. Sorry, what am I typing? Idiot, Nicola. Got that wrong. Made that mistake. You don't know if you're getting it right or wrong sometimes, really, do you? So anyone could say anything, and, you know. What am I chuffing? I smoke while I'm on camera. In the near future...
It's raining again. I couldn't be happier. Swish, and then whoosh.
Excuse me, I'm a bit conscious I get this chocolate milk on my lips when I'm talking. And I do, and it annoys me. But I'm a bit nervous about coming on camera sometimes. You know, there's quite a lot of you here that I'm chatting to all at once. I don't know if you can hear my... you know, talking a little bit fast, a little bit. I settle into it, but I smoke as well when I'm on camera because I'm nervous. So what I want to do in the future is get one of those vape things, like a weed vapor. I've got one, but it's a bit of a big machine. So I want to get a smaller handheld one and just reduce, you know, I don't think it's a good look for the show. I'm not trying to set a good example by smoking. It's just something I do because it makes me feel more relaxed. So apologies if, you know, you think it's a bad role model thing. Just is what it is. Okay, yeah, so the Behaviour panel have dropped. Look, if I scroll down, they've dropped quite a lot of shorts about it. One of the issues I have with shorts is that it's like used as a marketing tool. Actually, Nicola Bulley stops about there, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 shorts, 1 big video, 2 big videos, yeah? So, or a smaller video. So one of the issues I have is that when we're dealing with something like Nicola Bulley's death, okay, I've made content about it and I've been a bit blasé, but at the same time, I don't market Nicola Bulley's death or use Nicola Bulley's death in my marketing. Like, that's an issue to me. Like, shorts are used more as marketing. They're not really there to get the information out there to everyone. It's just like a TikTok so that more people come and watch your videos. So, like, for some people, it's a real creative medium. This is not this conversation. They are doing shorts for marketing. And so it troubles me that they're marketing Nicola Bulley's death and using it as a lever to market their own channel. I suppose that's what their channel's about, body language. But, you know, they can market and lever.
Swish, and then whoosh.
Thank you, Mandy Miller. They can leverage and meet and stuff Prince Harry or someone like that a lot more ethically than they can Nicola Bulley's death. And it's the same with all the true crime people. You know, I'm not beholden to do a Nicola Bulley video every day. In fact, I don't do a Nicola Bulley video every day. But you'll see a lot of these channels at the moment, the other videos they do don't get the traction. They're doing the Nicola Bulley stuff. So it does concern me a little bit, you know, that it gives a funny taste in my mouth, if you know what I mean. Even though I'm a big hypocrite, because what have I been doing for the last few weeks? Making Nicola Bulley videos. I done a murder. I'm in a work meeting. You know, who am I to say that? But, you know, I did say it. I did say it. Thank you, Mandy Miller. Thank you very much. And thank you very much to Rachel Baif. I'm not very good with names until people say them to me. I'm a bit more of an auditory learner in that aspect. Keep up the good work, Chuffmeister General. How's the cat? The cat, the first day back from the vet, he was still a bit dazed and confused. I think he's settling back in now, and it's not as good as I'd hoped, to be honest. I thought he might get, like, feeling a lot better. I still think he feels a little bit unwell, but they've cleaned his blood, and next time he goes to the vet, they'll take a blood test and tell us how he's doing, and we're not going to go through that all again and again like that. It's almost like cat dialysis. I don't know enough about it, but I don't get, you know, I think, how do I explain it? Like, it wasn't like, you know, wonderful success, his kidneys are fixed. It's just bought him a bit more time, that's all. I'm good because of my honesty, thanks. I do try and be honest, but not everyone likes to hear it, do they? I'm not sure the behaviour panel are going to like to hear this. They're not the only ones doing it. It's not the most egregious and disgusting thing, and we're all part of it, yeah? But you know what I mean? Like 6 TikToks about Nicola Bulley on your YouTube. Make sure you watch our channel, sort of thing. I don't like that so much, but it's not everyone. Right, the other thing I don't like initially here as well is they're using these yellow ribbons. They've gone for these yellow ribbons. They're in the titles, they're in the images. These videos were released before we found out that she was dead for sure, but the yellow ribbons now can be removed. You should be going over that and removing the yellow ribbons. The yellow ribbons are indicative of someone that's missing. Yellow ribbon campaign missing. If I put missing, look, it's bringing up the Nicola Bulley thing as well. It's not just Nicola Bulley where they do it, but yellow ribbons are indicative of a missing person, and so the campaign, Nicola Bulley's campaign, tried to jump on this yellow ribbon thing, didn't they? They tried to push this yellow ribbon thing. It was very big. This is Alice Gross, who went missing. Yellow ribbon campaign. It's a missing persons thing. Nicola is no longer a missing person. So, oh, look at that at the top. Sorry, I didn't notice. Yeah, because it didn't go whoosh and then whoosh. Andrew Fletcher. Respect, but can we crack on with the analysis? Thank you, Andrew. Sometimes I do need a poke in the backside. Hello. But thank you very much, Andrew. That is a big tippies. It really is. I really do appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. It will sit up there at the top of the leaderboard there, making everyone else feel ashamed of their... No. I'm grateful for everyone. Some people can give a bit more. For some people, £3 is a lot. So I'm grateful for every tippy, and I consider them all to be really important. Like the fact that someone's going to reach into their pocket and do the goodwill in that way, I'm really grateful. So yeah, I'll get on with it for your... Rather than going on about my gratitude, which will also piss you off, Andrew, I will now get on and carry on. Yeah, so the yellow ribbon, not acceptable. It needs to come out. Someone needs to go over this and remove it. The little star and the little bell, they're cheerful, but the ribbon needs to go. She's not a missing person anymore. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the shorts, because they're short, easy. We're going to get on to the bigger video. We'll probably do this 18-minute one, and I don't want to go on all night tonight, so I can't do the full 2 hours. But if it's good and we're going well, we can either have a look at it and then line it up for next time, or we line it up for next time. So that's the plan, right? Nicola Bulley's boyfriend feels nothing can now be done. Let's go, because these are the main points as well.
External locus
so first of all, what I've got as a problem here is, this is a funny, and we're not watching it on our phones, but as a short, it would be on your phone, maybe like this. We're dropping in with the...
Definitely got an external...
Like, what was that?
He's definitely got an...
It's inappropriate in a way. I mean, how dare I say it? But they're doing it seriously. I'm media judging now. I'm being harsh, but I don't know if the whistle was appropriate.
He's definitely got an external locus of control where the world happens to him. He's not very much in charge of things. We're seeing...
So that's just a point he made there. Hang on, wait.
Where the world happens to him. He's not very much in charge of things. We're seeing a ton of things stack up here to where I think he believes that this is a foregone conclusion.
Wait. We're on to a different point. So these shorts are really troublesome for me because he didn't give me any evidence.
He's definitely got an external locus of control.
Why? What is it? I know what it is because I've been learning from Steve. An external locus of control is when if something happens and you're like, let's say you crash your car into a lamppost, an internal locus of control would be, that's my fault. I put my foot on the accelerator instead of the brake and I've got into the lamppost. What an idiot I am. An external locus of control would be, who put that lamppost there? This brake was slippy. It's not my fault. Somebody else bumped my car and shunted me into it. They're always looking outside for something else to be...
It's raining again. I couldn't be happier.
We got...
Whoosh, and then whoosh.
We've got super chats and tippies. Cameron's dropped me a £5 on the tippies. And we've got BCTV is a different ... 19.99 on the tippies. They're tippies, big tippies at the top there. Thank you very much. And... Reb... Oh, it went too quick for me to see there. Let's reload this one and have a look. Reb13 bought me a coffee, enjoying my refreshing take on this case and all related to it. Thank you very much, thank you. And I would also say, I hope everyone, you know, I'm finding it new as a streamer to get used to all these tippies coming in. So as they do, maybe I have to finish my point and then do the tippies. And I apologise to anyone who thinks I'm a bit distracted sometimes because it is new to me. So apologise for that, but I hope we're going well. My problem here is I understand what he's saying about the locus of control, which is that an internal locus of control is I'm responsible and external is everyone else is responsible. What I don't understand and what's confusing to me is why and how. There's no body language analysis here. You've just made a statement and not backed it up.
Where the world happens to him, he's not very much in charge of things.
And what does it mean? What does it matter?
We're seeing a ton of things stack up here to where I think he believes that this is a foregone conclusion.
Well, yeah, because he's murdered her.
And it all starts with this one moment of...
It's just about the girls, that's it. I'm there for them.
Yeah, we picked that up. It's just about the girls, that's it. Even though he's out there on the riverside, which is stupid, because if it was just about the girls, he'd be there with them, comforting them. He'd be not on the telly doing interviews so that those girls saw their daddy on the telly and had more confusions. He'd be just dealing with them and their lives. He probably, if it was me, it wouldn't be all about the girls. I'd be up and down the river. It'd be all about Nicola. Let's find Nicola. Where is Nicola? The girls can take a back seat. The girls are fine. You know, the girls are staying with their nan. It's just, you know, what the hell? It made so many red flags to me, this one. Ansata Inanna said,
it's raining again. I
great.
Couldn't be happier.
I'm popular today on the tippies. Said, great indie film work. Next, a worried idea that Emma could promise Grizzly a correspondence position with the BBC. Maybe there are some backhanded, you know, backroom deals, maybe, possibly. I don't know if Emma's got that much power, but maybe her father has. I don't know. You've said it in the tippies. I've read it out. Interesting concepts. I tend to try and only go on things that I see as concrete. But yeah, blow it on Bundy's ready for my next Bible reading.
It's raining again. I couldn't be happier.
Thanks very much, Aid. And Lee, this is incredible to me. I'm really, really grateful for all these tippies coming in. Thanks for a great channel. Says Lee Trevorrow. I hope I get the names right. Trevorrow. And I'm trying to keep up with them as well. So I hope that I've read everyone's. I apologise if I've missed any. Thank you very much.
It's all about me and the girls. It's not about her anymore. He thinks...
Yeah, that's true. Hang on. Doesn't that red flag for you?
Thanks the people for their support.
Hannah's put the dollar signs in chat. I'll tell you what we're doing with them. I'll tell you what, I'm thanking you for your support, like this man said. What I'm doing with the tippies is I'm putting them all in the bank and I'm not spending them. Yeah, they go on the PayPal, they come in through PayPal. I'm not transferring them to my other account and moving them out and all that. Leaving them in there, saving them up as much as I can. I want to be able to pay myself for running my business. That would be nice. I also want to invest in the business, and we're going to go out with these cameras, and we're going to record things out in the field. We're going to go to events. We're going to do a first one first, get it going in May time, and then you'll see the results of that, and then we'll set up the memberships and all that sort of stuff. We're going to start, moving forward. It won't just be me talking to camera all the time. We're getting guests on and all sorts. It is a good day at the office for me today, yeah, but bear in mind, I've been on YouTube for 2 years without earning any money other than Snips, Nigel, and Capital K tipping me, so it's been a grind, and I live quite a meagre existence compared to all the rich and the good out there. So the great and the good, you know what I mean? I haven't got Boris Johnson's curtains. So yeah, while the good is good, take the rough with the smooth. Meet with triumph and disaster, both the same. Try not to get too big-headed about it, and be careful and cautious with that money, because it might not always be coming in. I've got to use it to create good content for you guys. You guys, that's rude. Sorry. Guys, you're not all guys, are you? For everyone out there, I've got to use it to make better content so that it keeps coming in. So thank you very much. Thank you. I can't believe he didn't spot this as a red flag. Like, why didn't he red flag this?
Anymore. He thanks the people for their support.
That level of support.
And not their assistance.
Yeah, because he wants their money and not to find Nikki.
Introducing complexity and data and difficulty to finding her instead of...
Yeah, because it's difficult to find her, because in his mind, when he's thinking, what are they going to do about finding her? He's thinking, oh, well, first of all, I hope they don't find her where I've hidden her. And then second of all, he doesn't really, he's trying to throw up a smokescreen. So all that data and complexity makes it harder to find her. Like, how are these not huge red flags for this guy? I don't know who the guy is, the behaviour panel guy, but it's like he said the things that are red flags. It's like he stuck the red flag in the ground. It's all waving and it's all red. And he's going, check out my blue flag. And you're like, hang on, mate, I think you're just a little bit off here. Like,
all about me and the girls. It's not about her anymore. He thanks the people for their support.
That level of support.
And not their assistance. He's introducing complexity and data and difficulty to finding her instead of encouraging people to help.
Maybe this guy actually thinks that he did it, and he just can't say it on the body language channel because the other three are like poo-pooing him.
Gets to use her name here. Doesn't make an appeal for help from...
Yeah, we spotted that. He forgets to use... He doesn't use a name. He doesn't make an appeal to help. This is awful. He's smiling. You don't mention he's smiling.
And data and difficulty to finding her.
It's just bringing it up again for me, seeing him, look, with his little cheeky smile. It's bringing it up again. He's wearing that big bobble hat. You don't mention that.
Instead of encouraging people to help. He forgets to use her name here. Doesn't make an appeal for help from anybody, and there is zero mention of a desire for her to be found or for her to come back home.
This is a huge warning red flag.
That's a big deal. Something's off, or he's already just come to the mental conclusion that there's nothing he can do about it because of his external locus of control.
What? Wait. Either he done a murder. This is what this guy just said. Right? I didn't say it. This guy said it, yeah? Swish, and then whoosh. Zencat sent me some tippies. This guy said it. I didn't make him say it. Like, he actually said it. What's going on with my green screen today? It's going to shit. He said that he's either done a murder, or it could be that he just thinks that he can't control the world, and so deep down psychologically he's sort of helpless, and therefore he thinks she might already be dead and that he can't do anything. Like, which one do you think it is? Which one's more likely than that? Which one's more likely? Is that either, like, the spouse of the person that is missing, spouse, not official, not married, just some bloke that's shagging her, got her pregnant, just that bloke, he is either responsible in some way for her disappearance. Now, I don't know the exact statistics, but when murders happen in the home, it's usually the man murdering the woman. Like, usually, quite often, I ask the police. The police will back me up on this, won't they? Statistically, who's the most likely suspect in a crime? And this is why they didn't want to have the police sniff around the house. This is why they wanted to make sure it's out at the river. This is why they needed to set up a decoy. Because the minute you say, oh, hello, police, yes, my wife is dead in my house, then you're immediately number one suspect. So they're not going to do that. What they're going to do instead is hide the body, make it look like she committed suicide. Like, this is murder, how to get away with murder 101, isn't it? I'm probably in too irate a mood for this. I'm not going to suffer fools gladly today, I'm afraid. So you think that that's a possibility? He said it. He almost said it. Almost. Thank you, Bad Gambler, for the 3 notes. I hope you enjoyed your I hope you enjoyed your fruity smoke the other day. Hope everything's working out for you in the new part of the world for you. Yeah, like this seems ridiculous that we could say he's either potentially a murderer or just a bit confused about who's, you know, responsible for what, and he's given up. Like, okay, fair enough. We entertain both possibilities. Thankfully, we've got a bit more video of Paul so that, you know, you can really reason it out. But from that start point, like, you're doing body language channel, yeah? You've got extensive history in covering things where people are doing lying and all that stuff. Like, you've even had the hindsight with people like Prince Andrew, haven't you? I mean, theoretically, there's no hindsight, is there? Because they never went to court and Virginia Guthrie took the money, so she could have just been lying for money. But actually, you know, we've kind of got hindsight, haven't we? So, like, it just seems weird, doesn't it? It just seems weird. Why would you not lean on the side of murderer here?
Or for her to come back home. That's a big deal. Something's off, or he's already just come to the mental conclusion that there's nothing he can do about it because of his external locus of control.
And that's handy, isn't it? Either he's done the murder or he hasn't. So that's what you've come to the conclusion. Your body, like, people have told me in chat lots of positive stuff about the body language analysis that we do here. Like, people have told in comments on the videos, you know, lots of lovely comments about the body language analysis. I will be the first to say that it's not like you get a degree in body language and, you know, you've got like your body language scanner and then you get it all, oh, that's what they're thinking, oh, that's what they mean, right, that's that. It's more intuition for me on the first pass, and then I can do a second pass and picks up other things that I've missed. And, you know, overall the benefit of hindsight is brilliant. I do a linguistic pass where I start to think about what the words mean and who said them and why and what's going on in their brain. For me, it's about trying to figure out what's going on in someone's brain. It's less about, did you put your hand on your head, therefore you think this? You know, it's not like a black and white thing. But other people have said in chat as well and in the comments, and I leave them there, you know, I'm not going to, everyone's allowed their ideas. Some people have said, like, it's a pseudoscience, it's not even a real science, it's just bollocks. You could say, yeah, just bollocks. And in some ways it is as well. I'm the first to bring this out into the light. I haven't got a degree in body language. No one has. There is no masters in body language. It doesn't exist. You can't be qualified in body language. And that means anyone on the internet can get into it and put themselves up as a body language expert. Let me show you a couple of things just quickly. If I put the body language guy, so I think it's more obvious in America. And then I'm going to show you someone else quickly before that, which is going to make you laugh a little bit. The lawyer for, maybe if I just put this for homies. Yeah, it's this guy. See, I knew I'd be able to find him. Right, so Bruce Rivers is a criminal lawyer. Right, first, let me just show you. Let me just show you. You'll understand what I mean. Thanks for the adverts. I will get an ad blocker one day. It costs like hundreds of pounds to be YouTube Prime, but here we are. Look, check this out. This is a lawyer.
Bruce Rivers, he's the criminal lawyer. Bruce Rivers, he's the criminal lawyer. Bruce Rivers, he's the criminal lawyer. And what he do? And it's gonna react to all the self-snitching.
Hi, this is
That's Bruce Rivers, criminal lawyer.
Bruce Rivers. Welcome to another episode.
So in America, it's a bit different to the UK, right? When you're a lawyer in America, what you want behind you is a load of important looking books and, you know, you've got your suit and stuff. But, you know, in England, what we expect, if you're going to a solicitor, what you expect is to have like proper old books and a barrister and, like, you know, old and traditions.
I couldn't be happier. Swish,
And then whoosh. Thank you, Julie Ash. This guy obviously represents a slightly different market, doesn't he?
Bruce Rivers, he's the criminal lawyer. Bruce Rivers, he's the criminal lawyer. Bruce Rivers, he's the criminal lawyer. And what he do?
And so it's all about image, right? What's important is to his clients that he looks like the smart guy who knows what he's doing. He's got the suit, yeah? He's got the shirt, he's got the tie. He's also got the props in his office here. Look, guns. He's also got the props in his office. Certificates and a big picture. Like, certain things make you look like you're authentic and like you're doing the job. He's got the nice watch. So it's interesting to me that in America, a criminal lawyer can use a slightly different set of props to appeal to a different audience and stuff. But essentially, there's a lot of smoke and mirrors here. You get the degree, you get your law degree, and you get your bar job, so you can dress whatever you want. But to get the clients and to be seen as authentic and authoritative is probably a better word, you use the props, yeah? And in America as well, like, I've seen some lawyers where I can't be asked to get it up. Like, don't worry about it, we don't need to see it. But you see some lawyers with...
Alex Murdoch took the
because I can use this guy instead, just any of his videos.
channel.
So you see some lawyers with props behind them, like an old set of books. And in America, it's different from England, because whilst you can go and get those things from shops, your buildings are not from the 1400s. You know, you're not working in a court of law that was existing since, like, when did the UK put its court system into place? Probably after the Civil War, which would have been Oliver Cromwell, wouldn't it? UK courts, inception, history of the judiciary. I'm not dissing America for this. I'm just saying, like, alright, that's a really bad website. I just want to know the answer to my question. 1873. So it's not a lot. It's a lot more modern than I thought. It's a lot more modern than I thought. 1873. Is that right? Wow, a lot more modern than I thought. But if I put like a UK Crown Court, maybe it is more modern than I thought. Like the images we see and the traditions that we have, like, are these old, like, look at this. Like, you know what I mean, don't you? If you're in the UK, you know what I mean here, yeah? This is really old, and it's like, you know, traditions, and been there for a long time. In America, if you want this, you have to just build it from scratch new, because you've not been around as long. Okay, you have been around since the 1800s, and you do have older buildings from then. But you know what I mean? Like American court and the props of the American court. Nowadays, it's all props. All the wigs, all of that stuff that we have, it's all props, isn't it? You know, they're just there to make you look like you are the thing. They're traditions. We've got older traditions, so our wigs look silly. But the Americans don't wear those wigs because they don't have such old traditions. That's the courts. They actually get degrees, and they actually have, like, you know, proper, like, this guy's probably got a psychology degree. I'm not saying he doesn't. But what I'm saying is, to appear authoritative on the internet when you're doing body language, this guy's got books in the background, his camera's on a wonk, or his shelves are, so that's not great. But he's got the suit on, he's got the glasses, he's even got a cello. Like, this guy is highbrow, yeah? And when you're a grunter watching the YouTube, you look at that guy and you think, oh, I don't wear a suit. I'm not wearing smart glasses. I don't have a cello. He's smarter than me. And all you need is some books and a cello. You don't need to be smart. So the problem with the body language field, and this is what I'm trying to explain now, bringing it round to body language,
It's raining
is that,
again. I couldn't be happier. Swish,
and then whoosh, Brum Vixen. Blues, blues, blues. Or do you support the Villa? I'm so flipping confused over this case. I know something isn't right, but I don't know what. Every time the BBC notification goes off, I hope someone's been arrested. Yeah, I think we're going to wait till we're going to have a big media furore when they drop the autopsy, and the autopsy says inconclusive. Julie Ash, good to see you doing this tonight. Found your live stream after the Channel 5 programme. Thanks. Been enjoying your chuffing ever since. Buy Kitty a treat. I will do. Thank you. He's getting as many treats as he can, but he can't have his favourite foods because of his kidneys, so it's a bit of a chuffer. But it's just what it is. We just go through these things. I don't want to make a big feature on this channel as well. All you nice people keep bringing it up because you're very compassionate, but I'm not here to sort of grift off the cat. Right? You know, when he dies, I'll be sad, but I'm not going to like do a big video about it. I'll talk about it through channels and stuff, but you know, I'm not afraid to be honest. But at the same time, I don't want to make it feel like I'm doing a sympathy grab. I think that's not in my ballpark side. What I do think is that these people and the way they dress, like, I like this guy. I've watched his videos. Yeah, I'm not dissing him, but what I'm saying is that there's a sort of social. It's like marketing, and with body language, because there is no degree, because there is no qualification, and because no person is the authority. This guy, there's another guy who I should bring up, who I think is really good. Spidey, the behavioural arts he calls himself.
What's going on, everyone?
Spidey's such a brilliant example because
people think learning piano takes a really long time.
Shut up about the piano.
Here's how long it.
Shut up. Spidey used to be, oh wow, he's done a body language reactor. I was going to do this. Wow, we have similar minds. He does the same sort of thing, but he's got a slightly different image going on. But Spidey used to be a stage magician. So he knows what it's about. It's all about, like, he used to do stage shows where he hypnotise people and do magic. So he knows that it's all about image, smoke, mirrors. He knows it's all about making people think things and distracting them. And so being a body language expert on YouTube is all about, in my opinion, not having the most solid authoritative voice on body language, not always getting it right, not always being bang on, but sometimes it's about the YouTube game as well. It's about your image, it's about whether you can get people to believe in you, and it's about whether you make good thumbnails maybe and present authoritatively. And then what you say, oh well, because it's not fact and because it's interpretation, because it's this and this, can never really be picked apart that deeply. So you're going to get some good people, you're going to get some charlatans as well. I think Spidey is actually good. I think he understands all those other aspects. I think that other guy that I showed you is actually good. This guy, it's just he also understands his background and how to set design and all that. I think they're good. I worry a little bit about the behavioural panel for the reasons I've explained earlier. They've got their books on sale, they've got their products on sale. It feels like this whole channel's a bit of an advert for their products, and they're getting some things, in my opinion, not on the nail. So I worry a bit about that. How are you qualified to be on this panel? What is it about this that makes you the expert? Are you the expert? I worry about that. Andrew Fletcher says, thanks for moving it on. Do you think that Paul and Emma just feel guilty for others' misdemeanours? Sorry, for other misdemeanours. Do I think they feel guilty for other misdemeanours? Like you've said, like you shouted at your wife and now she's missing and you feel bad. No, honestly, I think it's not guilt that I see in them as much as self-preservation. That's the scary thing, is that like guilt's a funny thing. Like guilt can make you do funny things. When you're not trying to speak about something, it can come out. When you're trying to hide something, it can show. But with Paul and Emma, you've got all that, but you've got these other insipid factors. The worst one for Paul is the self-preservation. The fact that it's never been about Nicola, but always, not the girls really, but him. It's always been about him. And then the worst one for Emma is the self-idealization as a star, as a media person, as a... like she thinks of herself in such high regard. She's got some of the signals of narcissism going on. So she's a huge worrying. Like if my sister went missing and her friend took over the investigation and not me, it would be weird. There's so many red flags about their behaviour that are more wrapped up in their own selfishness than. So I don't think they feel guilty for other misdemeanors, because it's not like I'm seeing signs of small guilt. I'm seeing signs of large selfishness. That's the worry for me, and that's what then points towards the guilt for me, is that these people are capable of these sort of things. At first, you've got to decide if someone's capable, and it might be that some people say everybody's capable of murder. You know, just give them the right circumstance, put them in the right position, or the wrong position, make life difficult enough, everyone might lash out. But I don't think that's the case. I even think that some people, like some of the strongest people that understand their power in terms of physical power and fighting and stuff, they're least likely to kill people because they don't want to accidentally batter someone to death. They're careful. Or I could, like if you are trained in jiu-jitsu, the first thing you learn is discipline, so that if someone comes at you, you can incapacitate them, but you don't have to break their head off. Like, you know what I mean? So it actually makes me feel like the people who do these rash acts are far more selfish, far less thoughtful, and they probably go like Nicola was probably killed in a rage. Nicola was probably killed after or during some sort of large argument, probably between the three of them. Like Emma was probably on the scene. It might have been that Nicola attacked Emma, and then Emma had defended herself and went too far, and that in that excitement, Paul quickly chose the wrong side. Instead of grabbing Emma and fucking her off out he might have even held Nicola's arms while Emma hit her, and then it's like, we've killed her, or they smothered her in some way because she's like kicking off massive, and then shit, I didn't realise we've like that sort of thing could happen. but Emma's probably realised what she was doing and just did it anyway. Like Paul was probably there holding her, and Emma was probably suffocating her, and like or doing like they were trying to incapacitate her and make her stop because she'd caught them, found them out, and she was angry. So it went too far, and they've killed her. And then they've had to. They don't consider themselves to be the instigators there. They feel like, what else could they do? It's not my fault. I'm a good person and she pushed me to it. So now it's fair enough that we hide her and don't go to prison because, you know, it's fair enough, isn't it? Also, we can do a GoFundMe and get loads of money because we like money and we also like cocaine. You know what I mean? I feel it's that sort of thing. They're my feelings. I get them from my spirit guide if you know, the court of law wants to put me... someone on Twitter the other day said that I could be in trouble for defamation. I don't think I can because like, these are my thoughts and my ideas. They're not like, you know, it's not like I'm running a campaign. People are asking me questions, I'm answering them. And apparently Nicola was looking up abuse websites. This wasn't new for her. That's interesting as well, yeah. I do wonder about that, but I don't have enough factual evidence to go on, but agree. You know,
It's raining again. I
feel very strongly that...
and then whoosh!
I'm not doing like thank you Melinda Finnegan for the tippies. I'll check them in just a second. I feel very strongly that I'm not doing a disservice here. Like, hang on, what's the word? I'm not defaming Paul. I'm not going after him just because I'm a malicious troll. I'm looking at the things he said in public, the things he's done in public, and I'm drawing conclusions from that. And I think they're fair conclusions. And then on top of it, I want justice done, and I want Nicola to have her name. You know, you can't lie to rest if your murderers are still out there. So I think that we're being done a disservice. Like, if that can happen to her, it can happen to you. And I don't think it's fair that we should walk around in a world where people could murder people and not get caught. You know, I don't like that. I want that sorting. And so defamation also has to be proven that I'm damaging Paul and his reputation and his life. You know, Paul didn't get that job or he didn't get that money or whatever because I defamed him. It's affected his... Well, that's ridiculous because he's been on the internet and on the telly like trying to defend himself from his wife's missing wife. You know, he's made himself look bad. I haven't defamed him. He's made himself look bad, and loads of people are saying it. So I don't think it's. I think it's ridiculous to think that I could be either prosecuted by the police for malicious communication or harassment or defamation. It's ridiculous. You might as well go after Jimmy Carr for his jokes. You know, it's just ridiculous. I'm an entertainer on the internet. And if people want to listen to my opinion, that's fine. And if they don't, that's fine. And these are just opinions, just like the behaviour panel, in a way. So, interesting stuff. Yeah, that's what I think. And it does make me a little bit agitated, actually. I'm a little bit tired today, aren't I? So, and then the thing is, right, it's always been about the girls. F. Nicola. Nicola is also one of his girls as well. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for the $5. I also think sometimes he might be you know, who are the girls that he refers to? He refers to his girls, doesn't he? Who are those girls? Are they Nicola and Emma, or has he got two different women on the go? You know, if I've got two girlfriends, I might say, oh yeah, you know, got to make sure I keep the girls happy. Do you know what I mean? Who are the girls? I always find that to be a very strange thing. It's never specified. He doesn't say his children. I would say my children, not my girls, my children. You know, and then you've got the sister brought into it or out of it or whatever. On review, I think the family look okay on their interview, so I don't now review their interview a lot, but we could do white flagging on their interview maybe one day. I think it's Paul and Emma in this, but he could also have the sister on the mobile. You know, he could also be bonking two people. It's quite possible, isn't it? Yeah, I think I just went off on a bit of a rant there. And the thing is as well, I think everyone thinks this. I think everyone can see it. It's like people have said on chat that it's like Huntley. It's like other incidences of, and we did it as an episode, didn't we? Look, Super Chuffer, lives, playlists. On the playlists, we've got Thus, right? Which we're going to have to do something about this last episode, everyone. You know, we're going to have to do something about what happens on Monday. On Monday, I want to make it a serious episode of Thus. So that's why I want to get the Sunday session, let you all get it out on Sunday, get it out your system. But we talked about it on Thus. We certainly did, didn't we? Criminals who publicly appealed, including Huntley, including Shannon Matthews, including Tracy Andrews. Yeah, criminals who publicly appealed. We looked at their videos and we analysed their behaviour, and we talked with Steve, the forensic psychologist, about the concept. So that's been in our mind recently. We even dropped that when I was preparing that episode before the Nicola Bulley thing happened. Then the Nicola Bulley thing happened, and like, I've got a list of episodes we're preparing, and I said, let's do this one. So, you know, it happened on the same sort of week that we dropped that episode, or the same sort of time that we dropped that episode. So yeah, you know, I'm down with that. I agree with that. I think what it is in the UK, because this is a UK thing as well. In America, they've got different feelings. I alluded to it at the start of the episode about the history being different, not good or bad or whatever, just different, more modern. Like the guns in the lawyer's office, you know, appealing to a different market. We wouldn't have that in the UK. Like, you wouldn't have it. So there are some things that I feel are much more British and understood by the British. And I think this is where the body language people might be getting it wrong. What about the body language of the SIO detective and investigator? I haven't looked into it. That's a good point. I tend to look at the people who have got on, like, Paul's been involved in this case. Emma's been involved in their lives, whether she knows what happened or didn't. They're involved in, you know, the police that are coming in to investigate are like you and I. They're just coming in from the outside. So I will look into that. That's a good idea, Andrew. Thank you very much. You're being very generous. I will just say this, Andrew, if you're drunk at this juncture, like, and you're going to wake up tomorrow and think, oh my God, I put all this money on the fucking thing. You're not having it back. So just be careful. You know, you're doing very generous. But thank you. I appreciate it. I really do. So I will look into that. I will. That's a good idea. I'll put it on the notepad. But I tend to go, like, I'm looking for evidence. And what am I looking for evidence for? Paul done a murder. So where do I want to hear it? From Paul. If Paul says things and I can say, that's not right, that's the best place. I'm going to the horse's mouth. I'm going to the root of it. If you know, someone says in a chat that someone said Paul's dad was in the BBC, I'm not reporting that. Like, if someone says in chat that Emma's friend is a friend of this guy, I'm not reporting that unless Emma says it. You know, I'm going for just the hard stone facts so that no one can ever accuse me of making up any weird shit. I'm listening to it. I'm interested in it. I'm following the undercurrent. But on my folder, in my folder of things that are facts, I'm only putting the facts. And so they're only coming from these people. But yeah, I will definitely look into the people that investigated the case as much as I can as well. As much as I can. So going back to this point about being a British thing. Now, no offence to anyone else in the world. Or in fact, it's not just Britain. Ireland are included. UK. You know, anyone from this part of the world might understand the body language, the customs, the mannerisms, and also have seen these kind of things play out before. So we see it and we instinctively feel it. We instinctively feel it. In America, they've recently had a case about a bloke who's murdered his wife and son, and it turned out he was guilty. And like, that's an American thing with their guns and all sorts of stuff like that. This is slightly different, but we have got our own thing going on here, and we know, we see this, and we instinctively feel it. And I think that's almost good enough. It's not admissible in court. It doesn't mean that you can go around accusing people of things just because you think them, witch hunts. It's not that. It's in this case, with this media, with this hour of 27 minutes of interview, ripped off my channel and uploaded to the Armchair Detective, the real one, ripped off with this interview and with Emma White's multiple interviews and with the GoFundMe and how many of these things do we need now? And with the, you know, and with the, we feel it. It's instinctive. It's not just an instinct because we're idiots and we make up ideas. It's because we're instinctively, our brains taking so much information throughout the day. You don't have to think, what colour is this chocolate milk? I wonder if it's the chocolate milk or not. This is the brown one, therefore it is the chocolate one, pick it up. My brain just does it all automatic. And it's the same with your psychology. And is this person happy? Are they sad? Are they, you know, are they angry? What should I? We learn and we read people instinctively all the time. Because if you didn't, you wouldn't be able to get around the shops or anything. Do you know what I mean? So what we have is a much more nuanced, and we are much more in tune with Paul. If you're British and you understand the way we're living and stuff like that, you can be more in tune with Paul. So I think for that reason, I'll give the behavioural panel and these other people a bit of a break. That if you're not British, like this man that we just watched straight away here, maybe he's misplacing it, maybe he's just giving Paul the benefit of the doubt in a way because he's confused, because he doesn't, you know, we're talking about body language. If you don't live in this world with these people, how are you going to assess their body language properly? Is body language international, or do cultures differ? So I think that's where they might have a problem here. They might be getting it wrong because of that. I don't know. But it's interesting things to think about. You think he's sedated there. That's an interesting aspect. Toxology reports and stuff like that, we hope would still be accurate. But it's interesting. You know, it's interesting. And the one thing that, of course, Invisible Ray says we got proof. I'll tell you what, the one thing that didn't come up, and that Emma was so keen to point out, was no evidence. With no evidence comes no investigation. The police can hold their hands up and say, sorry, no evidence. Can't just go on a hunch. And the reason there's no evidence is because they laid all that decoy, so no one was looking for the evidence in the right place. Perhaps Nicola walked from her parents in the morning. I'll tell you what, I'll say it one more time. For me, Nicola never left the house that morning at all. Nicola was dead beforehand. She was dead the day her Fitbit went offline. And they spent 3 days or whatever it was trying to fucking work out how they were going to make the perfect crime. The one thing you want to do, if you have done a murder, the one thing you don't want is people coming around your house. So you make it look like Nicola went out on the dog walk. He said a decoy. He used the word decoy. Decoy is something people use in the countryside to lure prey, to lure bait. It wasn't that she's just put out there as a distraction. It's to lure everyone over there, the search teams, the Sky News, to lure them. And that gives you time and space to deal with the disposal of the evidence. I find it strange that everyone assumed she was on the dog walk. They even wrote it in the BBC News. I'm repeating myself here, so I don't need to go and watch the other videos. I think I've made this point quite clear. Nicola Bulley mystery, listen to what people say. Okay, so this is their next one. Again, a short.
One of the most powerful things that you learn in interrogation is to listen to what people say. There's a
agree.
powerful statement in here, and an emotional eye accessing as he finishes the statement. He says,
The only difference on that morning 2 weeks ago was that
interesting that they're using the neurolinguistic programming of eyes, where I don't know how many people on the body language panel would agree whether the neurolinguistic programming and eyes are old hat. A bit like, playing on the old... It's a bit like driving a 1980s car. It's still a car, it still works, and it's still a car, but we've come a long way since then. Come a long way since then. So I agree with the neurolinguistic programming. I do follow the eyes. It's something that I was sort of learned to do long ago, and it kind of doesn't leave you. But at the same time, it's his other peers on the panel might disagree with him. So it's strange that they don't put forward that counterpoint.
As he finishes the statement, he says,
the only difference on that morning 2 weeks ago was that there wasn't a lot of rushing. I came down and a lot of stuff was already done. It was...
And so this is Paul's story here, because he wants you to believe that Nicola was suicidal, but at this point they hadn't said outwardly that Nicola was suicidal. They hadn't said explicitly that Nicola was suicidal. So what he wanted you to do in this interview was make himself look like a really good person. And I don't know why Nikki would do this. I can't figure it out. But she did lay out all the stuff in the morning, and you can go, oh, Paul, didn't you know? That's a sign of someone being suicidal. How did you miss that, Paul? Poor you, Paul. If only you'd been more educated about suicide, you would have noticed that's a sign. That's what he wants us to say. So he's giving us the information so we can reply. Actually, he's like, yeah, I wonder why, he's bad acting.
Down and a lot of stuff was already done. It was...
But we don't get to see the full clip. But yeah, I thought that was bad acting. I thought he was trying to sort of lay a trap there for us. That's more decoy. And if you're going to listen to the words of somebody that's a potential suspect, you've got to press X to doubt. You've got to be able to say, okay, that's what he's saying outwardly and on the surface. That's Paul's story. Yeah, but what if Paul's lying? What would he say then? What if Paul wanted to hide a body? What would he say then? And so it's obvious to me that this is to throw us off the case so that we assume it's suicide before they... And because the public are so fucking stupid, in Paul's mind, that they didn't assume suicide, they had to end up weeks later saying, no, she was suicidal, you idiots. Those that didn't assume it, those that assumed it thought they were clever and thought they'd worked it out. That's what they wanted. They want the clever people to think they're working it out. And maybe this body language guy will fall for that. I don't know. Maybe he'll fall for that trap.
Stuff was already done. It was...
That, for me, would raise a whole lot of questions, and likely has raised some questions for him. If your wife disappeared, you're going to have a ton of stuff going through your head, and I think we might see some of that here. I would dig in. I'd say, what do you mean a lot of stuff was done? Why do you think that happened? What exactly? I'd dig in and get a lot of details.
Well, you didn't, and you haven't, so please analyse the thing that you actually just saw. What is that short? What does it mean? It means nothing. It's like a piece of nothing, that is. It's like you've given me a piece of paper with nothing written on it. Like, that's a bad short. 36,000 views, Nicola Bulley Mystery. They've called it Nicola Bulley Mystery. listen to what people say, and he's put a yellow ribbon. So what did he say, and what's the point? Again, are they trying to lead us to think it's suicide, but he won't say it? The body language man won't say it? Is everyone too scared to say what they think? Like, what is going on here? Like, why make that short? I find it so weird. I just don't understand it as a piece of media. Let's go on the next short.
We do see distress. We see the insanity of the situation.
Do you understand how that whistle is offensive now to me as a viewer, right? Because if I'm looking at their shorts, right, do you not understand what you're doing? Grown-ups making media, Mark, Greg, Chase and Scott. Is any one of you the editor? Which one of you is the editor? Who is doing this? If I go on your shorts and I watch through your shorts, I don't want to hear a whistle every 40 seconds.
All right, Greg, what do you got?
He starts off with a pitch change. Yeah.
So he's spinning, lying into, first of all, the...
All right, Chase, what do you got?
So first, he says was a bad choice of words. Then,
Scott, what do you got on this one?
Right out of the gate, we're seeing
his brow does a...
Do you know why they're doing it? Do you know why they're doing it? Anyone in chat tell me why they're doing that whistle? What's the reason they're doing the whistle? Anyone in chat? Let's have a timeout, giving you the chance to tell me now. What do you think the reason for the whistle is? Why is the whistle in this piece of media? Every piece of media in the shorts, every short. It's annoying. It's frustrating. It aggravates me. Why the whistle? Why the whistle? Is it from Kill Bill? I don't know. Or is it Columbo? Anyone, why the whistle? Anyone? Give you a minute because there's a bit of delay on chat. Why the whistle? Anyone, why the whistle? Attention. Could be, yeah. Could be, pay attention to this. That's a good point. It gets your attention on there. Mind control hypnosis. Bang on, Miss Lemons. It sounds ridiculous, but conditioned response. Conditioning. A behavioural process whereby a response becomes more frequent or more predictable in a given environment as a result of reinforcement. Do you remember they whistled and the dogs ate their food? Oh, isn't that nice? Yeah, they had to cut the holes in the cheeks to measure the saliva. But apart from that, it's classical conditioning. They're doing it so that, like, it's a psychological trick to make you... I don't know exactly how it works on these shorts exactly, but at the start of every episode, if I whistled a certain... it's McDonald's. I'm loving it. It's your little jingle. It's psychologically designed to give you a link in your brain. So now in the future, when I go... you think biology panel, behaviour panel, whatever. It's part of marketing. It's part of a psychological trick. Like, I don't want you to play psychological tricks on me, team of psychologists. In the same way as I accept those other people dress up to be the psychologist and dress up and show you the thing... And I accept that Spidey has been a stage hypnotist, so we'll be using some of those ideas to make himself seem more likeable. Psychology of... I bet there's stuff like... I know there's stuff like this. Hang on. Psychology, how to get people to like you. This sort of stuff. It's psychological manipulation. Yeah? Sometimes they do it on adverts, so you buy the things. I find it despicable. Sometimes people will do it to you. Sneaky psychological tricks to make people like you. This one, to make someone fall for you. Let's just quickly.
3 sneaky psychological tricks to make someone fall for you. Part 3. 1. The forbidden fruit effect. We want what we cannot have, so you need to build this imaginary blockage between you guys that they need to step over in order to get to you.
Now, I understand psychology and I agree with the concept that something you find forbidden, you want to get. I understand it all, but for me to then... say, oh, I like this person, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to manipulate them psychologically. There is no barrier between us, but I'm going to invent one so they feel there's one, so that they like me more. That's insipid mind control hypnosis. It's okay, mind control hypnosis is heavy, but subliminal messaging, yeah, and it's manipulation. It's a manipulation technique. So if you love someone and you think they're a good person and you'd like to spend your time with them, I would advise, don't put up an imaginary wall. It might work in terms of them getting to want you and stuff psychologically, but when in the future, or if they find out you did that, they might lose some respect for you for psychologically manipulating them into going out with you. Do you know what I'm saying? This is one step away from narcissistic abuse, psychological manipulation, but it's taught in marketing. Like, it's taught to people in psychology. We learn about how people operate, and then it's up to you as an ethical person to judge how you're going to use that information. So, another good top, I drink this chocolate milk, yeah? I'm not doing this for psychological reasons, but this is chocolate soya milk, and you know it tastes chocolatey. You're not drinking it, but every time you see it, you think chocolate. You like chocolate. Like, that's happening. It's a psychological thing. I'm not making it happen because I just drink it because I like it. But another step up, right? Another step up. And I've seen it done on YouTube channels these days. It reminds you of an advert. Yeah, that's exactly what it is, Bad Gambler. It's the same mechanisms. There's a diet ad that does it. Exactly. It's the same mechanisms. And they're feeding off the fact that other people have laid the groundwork. McDonald's have already spent a lot of money with a whistle. So now they've got a whistle. It's not the McDonald's whistle, but it's a whistle. So you're in the same ballpark. So now you've got the McDonald's marketing feeding into your benefit. Right? You know, it's quite clever in a way. But yeah, so like, there's a psychological study, right? They sent people up in an elevator and they said, what are you going to do? You're going to go in the elevator. You, imagine this happened to you. You're going to go up in the lift in England. It's a lift in England. Yeah. You're going to go up in the lift and we're going to go and do like a pretend job interview. And then at the end, I want you to grade the interviewer and tell me, are they a nice person or a bad person? So you go up in the lift and you're with the experimental people, you know, doing the experiment. And they say, oh, by the way,
again. I couldn't be happier.
Thank you, Helen.
And then
whoosh. They say, could you just hold my drink for me while we're up going in the lift? And you hold their drink and it's a warm cup of coffee. And then you go to your interview and you come back and they do the questionnaire. And they do the same thing, but with half the group, they give them a cold drink. Cold soda. Can you hold that for me while we go up in the lift? And then when you get out the lift and do your interview, you do a little questionnaire, and it turns out that people like the interviewer more if they held the warm coffee. What? The interviewer does the same thing, same questions. They're an actor. When you do the questionnaires after, people who hold warm coffee get warm feelings in themselves. They're like, oh, that's nice. I like the smell. It's warm. And they go and have a nice time with the interviewer. People who hold cold drinks feel cold and clammy, and then they're nervous and they go and have a bad time with the interviewer. So little subtle things can manipulate your mind. And when you know it, if I wanted to do this to you, at the start of every episode, I would have, for no reason at all, I would have coffee being made or chocolate poured or something. For no reason at all other than just get in your head. I could use it against you. At the start, I could have a coffee machine right here, and at the start of every episode, I could press the button and make a coffee. And then that's doing it to you psychologically. I choose not to. Tippies is repetitive. I wonder why. Well, Tippies is just a noise that I got off Genshin Impact. So again, I could do it with the Tippies. You're right, B. I could do... I could make a Tippies noise designed to psychologically manipulate you. Mine is just from a computer game, but because I like that computer game. So that can be verified that I'm not trying to manipulate you. But we could do, you know, we could try to... if you want. You notice the yellow ribbons have been replaced with jars of daffodils. That's interesting. You mean at the Nicola Bulley site? It's interesting because what they've managed to do is what they want here is another psychological manipulation thing, Helen, is Nikki's running a campaign, and for that campaign to have longevity, it needs to have a brand, like the Madeleine McCann thing had a brand. People hate the way I say Madeleine. It's got a brand, and their brand is going to become the yellow flower. It's lucky for them that it happened this time of year when the daffodils come up. They've dragged it in. Easter. It's a bit weird, isn't it? Easter, the resurrection of God. But yeah, they've dragged it in because they've seen it as an opportunity to utilise it as a brand because it's all so yellow and they've already got the yellow going on. But really, it's got nothing to do with Nicola. My nan used to like daffodils. Her birthday was this time of year. That has something to do with my nan. Nicola was killed at this time of year, so daffodils have no pertinence other than they came up a few months later after she was killed. It's just like they're trying to build it into the brand. I find it a bit tacky. Why do you need a particular flower to represent Nicola's death? I don't know, but that's what's being done by the people that are organising the media image of her death. Yeah, so we talked about conditioning, didn't we? And it's being done to us by the behavioural panel. A sneaky psychological trick. At least this woman, Francis Psychology, who I am subscribed to, because I'm looking to get another voice on the show. I want another co-host, like a more... I want us to eventually have a panel of about 4 of us that vary day to day, week to week. So we're not always all the same. So I've been looking into trying to find another psychologist, ideally a female, and ideally someone with a different background to me that can teach me some stuff, you know. So anyway, her ideas there about manipulating people, which I would not use because I think that would be a bad thing to do. And it worries me that the behavioural panel have gone that way because I can see through it. And if you can see through it, now you feel like you're being manipulated. And if I feel like I'm being manipulated, why would I watch 2 hours of your episodes? You know, what's going on in the background of your shot? Oh, you've got your authoritative things and you've got your adverts and you're advertising and manipulating. Okay, good one.
We do see distress. We see the insanity of the situation. We see somebody who's at their wit's end, I think, around this, but still has to keep a good front. The voice breaks on.
I think it's just.
I mean, I've been really heavy there because of the whistle, but let's be fair as well. Let me be fair. You want to use things to your advantage on YouTube to get big because you want to make money. I'll do the same. You know, if you taught me, I did it in hairdressing a lot more. I'd make you feel really comfortable in hairdressing by taking your coat, putting my hand on your shoulder, guiding you to the chair, getting you a cup of coffee, making sure that you had magazines and stuff, and then talking to you and standing behind you. And I'm going to touch your head, so I'm not afraid to touch you. I'd put my hand on your shoulder. I'd make you feel comfortable, you know. I'd make it feel like you could talk. And anytime you brought something up, I'd say, hang on, wait, turn off the hairdryer. What is it you said there? Sorry. Make sure you were listened to because it's really important. So they're psychological tricks in a way, and I did them for the benefit of the hair client and for me, the hairdresser. So I guess we're all guilty of it, but I just wanted to bring it to attention. That's what they're doing, and I'm in a bad mood, so it came out like that.
All day long, that's all we're doing. So
let's have a quick look at your tippies as well. Oh no, I just saw that, didn't I? The daffodils. I didn't miss that. Yeah, okay, we're good.
We're doing. It gives us a great amount of comfort.
He doesn't do anything to protect his whereabouts or give any reasons why he wouldn't have been in the location. He doesn't point any fingers at it.
Yeah, that's ridiculous, mate, because he wasn't at the river, was he? He doesn't have to protect himself from being at the river. That's the whole point of the decoy. That's what he's doing. What a stupid thing to say. This potential murder suspect, right? Hello. There's not much for you to go out on my head. Will you treat me kindly? Super Chuffer. I hope I'm treating you kindly, Damien. I hope I'm not being mean to you. There's not much for you to go out on my head. Would you still treat me kindly? I think it might be a joke. Like, I'm a bit confused. I had a dental hygienist like that, Super Chuffer. Unfortunately, he went back to Greece. Okay. What's interesting to me here is that he said that Paul is not trying to cover things up, right? The murder suspect is not trying to cover things up by the river. That's because the murder didn't happen by the river. Going to the river is the cover-up. So there he feels comfortable that he doesn't have to cover things up. If you're at his house, it would be very different. I can't believe you've missed that. We're not at his house. We're stood out at the random fucking riverside dog walk place. Like, how did you miss that?
All day long, that's all we're doing. That's all we're doing. It gives us a great amount of comfort.
He doesn't do anything to protect his whereabouts or give any reasons why he wouldn't have been in the location. He doesn't point any fingers at a character assassination. Doesn't give any kind of reason why.
Wow. Actually, later on, he does give reasons why he wasn't in the location, doesn't he? Later on. You know, he talks about how he was at home having his coffee and on his work meetings. And in terms of character assassination, that also comes later on, doesn't it? Where he accuses Nicola of being unstable, going through a menopause and all this. Like, so it's weird that you say these things and then they end up happening.
There might be an accident. There's no chaff and redirect there. I'm seeing somebody who is...
Lovely jubbly, I don't know Don Wells and I haven't watched all of their stuff, so, you know.
It's utterly confused by the situation and a bit of a wit's end.
He says he's confused and at his wit's end.
It's utterly confused by the situation and a bit of a wit's end.
I guess that's the idea, you know, that he's trying to put across, isn't it? They're all the things he says. I don't know what's going on, or I don't know. Like, fair enough, you're taking him at face value. Bit of a strange one for me. Next, Nicola Bulley's boyfriend is not involved. Now this is like that one was called Othello's error and Paul Ansell's stages of grief. They didn't mention any of that stuff. Nicola Bulley's boyfriend is not involved, this one says. I mean, that's a categorical, so that's as good as saying that he's a murderer. Like, you either think you're nailing your flag to the mast here and you're saying he's definitely not involved. Like, he's either is or he's not. You're saying he's not. When I say it's as good as saying he's a murderer, I don't mean he's saying he's a murderer. I'm saying he's not sitting on the fence here. He's taken a side, which is kind of weird to me, the side he's taken at that early stage after seeing just a very short clip.
It's raining again. I couldn't be happier.
How do you...
Swish, and then whoosh.
How do you make sure you're so sure? I wasn't so sure. I was like, I think he might be, but I don't know. You missed the first part because you're on a work meeting. The work meeting. I wonder if the people around the local pub... Thanks very much for the tenner there, Lucia Thomas. Thank you very much for the tenner. I really appreciate it. I wonder if the people at Nicola's local pub have cottoned onto the work meeting meme yet. We've invented a meme there, haven't we? So apparently he's not involved. Let's have a look.
Right now, it is as though she has vanished into...
You're not going to do that big lip smack.
Right now, it is as though...
Like, because he's doing the sticking the tongue out there. That's massive body language, isn't it? Massive. That would imply that this might be deception. That he's licking his lips about to, thinking of the things he's about to obtain. Like, massive, massive.
She has vanished into thin air.
And that was a big pause for the vanished into thin air bit, and that he shook his head over it because obviously it's ridiculous, and no one vanishes into thin air, and that's narrative creation. And he licked his lips, just the big. Okay, am I actually going to say this? We've got loads going on there, so this is clear. This one's obvious.
Quite often, when a person has guilty knowledge or they're involved with a person missing, they'll give several examples of what they think may have happened, and they'll keep going back to the one.
Well, that's why we're at the fucking river. He did keep going back to the one, and then he said it wasn't that a few days later in a different interview.
Over and over again. The person who didn't do it will say, I don't know how you do it, and or where they went. I don't know what happened.
Would they? So if you want to appear innocent, what would you say then? If you've done a bit of research and you want to appear innocent, what would you say? Would you say... It just seems ridiculous, doesn't it? It seems ridiculous that you can't, in today's day and age, have a look at the body language on the internet and decide to act the things you're supposed to say. Enjoying your content and humour. I'd better try and be more funny than angry then, hadn't I, Jacqueline? I'd probably better try and be more funny than angry. But this one's making me angry because it seems like he's just totally... Like, how naive do you have to be? I don't believe it's naivety. I actually think because they're Americans, but the other one was English, wasn't he, the other guy? But I think because they're Americans, they're misreading him. And also I think not because they're Americans, but because they're different cultures in Britain and America, it's a misreading. Maybe, but later on I'll read Americans, won't I? So maybe I'll want to poo-poo that. The hat's pulled down. Oh yeah, like who wears a hat like that? No one. He's worn the scarf to make it look like it's a look. But it wasn't like, it's ridiculous that he's wearing that hat and scarf. He's covering the neck with the scarf. He's got probably scratch marks on his neck, hasn't he? I'd said this before. I alluded to it in a different episode. I'd said it in a different episode, but I'll give you the story again because it's a funny one. I went to the YMCA on not the YMCA, having fun at the YMCA. All right, have your laugh, do your system. It's have your joke, YMCA. But no, we're on a sports trip. We're down south, and it's a place to stay. You can get a good meal. You can hang out with all the boys. You can do whatever you feel. So, but we were staying there as like a school sports. I was in a sports team, and we were staying there. And there were a load of German girls staying at the same time. Scotty Hottie got himself a little snog with a German girl. Yeah. Scotty Hottie, like 14-year-old Scotty Hottie, got himself a little snog with a German girl. And she gave me all these love bites on my neck. And I was like, what the fuck? And then, so she gave me this bandana, right? And she was like, tied it around my neck, and she was like, no one can see it.
I couldn't be happier. Swish,
and then whoosh, gonna look at the tippies in just a second. So this happened, and then we had to go and play volleyball, right? And I was playing volleyball, and everyone was like, what's that around your neck? Why are you wearing a bandana? What's the bandana? And like, they got me, and they got it off, and I had all the love bites, and they were ripping me, they were like, Scotty's got the German girl, and like, she had a bit of a moustache, so they were giving me the old ripping about the moustache. You wish you could stay. It's an excellent stream, searching for the live. Yeah, that's it. Watch it in your own time. There's loads of content on my channels for you to enjoy in your own time. Absolutely. So yeah, she did have a bit of a moustache anyway, and I did have a big love bite, and I did get ripped by all the lads. I was a butt of a joke for about 6 days while it went away on my neck. But anyway, it reminded me of this. You don't put on this weird big scarf and hat normally. You just don't. Just get away with it. Get it in the bin. Fuck off, do you wear that? It's hiding your scratches on your neck and your bruise around your eye because you've just had a massive Barney with your missus and had to murder and put her in the culvert. Right? Get off. Get off. Yeah. Anyway, this guy's completely misread this as far as I'm concerned. I don't know, like...
The one over and over again. The person who didn't do it.
Oh, that was it. I was saying, if you did it, you would say... He's saying, if you did it, right, then you'd say, oh, she's probably... give a different example. Okay, if you say, I bashed her on the head and then we put her in the culvert... Like, I'm not going to say that, so I'm going to say maybe a horse kicked her to death, or maybe someone dropped a piano on her, or, you know, maybe, like, you're going to throw up all these other ideas to get them all smoke screening. And we're at the river where people are searching the fucking river, because Paul said she thinks he's in the river, because he's took the phone down to the river, because he's took the dog down to the river, so that people think she's in the river. Like, that's what you said would happen. You said they'd make up other stories. We're at the scene of the other story. So how you've missed that, I don't understand.
We'll say, you know, I don't know how you do it.
And someone who's innocent would say, I don't know how you do it. I don't know if I even agree with that, man. Like, if I had an idea about how it was done and my sister was missing, I'd be on the police. I'd be on the news. I think this is how it's been done. Someone should fucking do something. You know, if you thought she'd been kidnapped, I'd be out there. I think she's been kidnapped. Someone should do something. You'd have your number one thing that you thought it was, and you'd be going at it. Oh, I don't know. Just doing your best Boris Johnson. Have you seen my very expensive curtains? My wife bought them. My wife. This is the wife. Hello, Boris. Boris, I want new curtains. Boris. Boris, I want new curtains. Boris, my designer friend and I are having a party in lockdown. We're going to call it the Curtains Party. Boris. Sorry, I got to be distracted there. Angela Fisher has sent me some money for a vegan chocolate milk. Thank you. I will graciously accept your New Zealand 22... New Zealand, sorry, did I say Australia? New Zealand 22 New Zealand dollars. Thankfully... Google will translate them into English monies for me, but I like the idea that I might have to just save them up and do a world tour and one day spend them in New Zealand. Do you think they left the curtains when they left, or do you think they took them with them? She had a friend. They paid her friend literally millions of pounds to do an interior design job, and then they had a party at the end of it during lockdown to celebrate. At the same time, my nan had to stay in the last years of her life, had to stay in, shut in with us. I was caring for her. I became a carer. I had to give up my normal media profession, my dreams and my goals, which weren't going very well, but I had to give that up and become a carer. And then she went into hospital and died of COVID. But Boris Johnson, on the other hand, let's not get onto that. Let's not get onto that, because it actually could make me quite angry. Yeah, and this is also irking me. This is also grinding my gears. Like,
where they went, I don't know what happened. You know, like this guy's doing, she just vanished. It's important to keep in mind, with all the information you gather, each person is different, and every situation like this is different. You have to recognize what road that person's going down that you're talking to. Outside of that, I don't think this guy's hiding anything. His demeanor stays the same the whole time.
He's wearing a fucking hat pulled down over his eyes. His demeanor stays the same all the time. Yeah, rabbit in the damn headlights. You don't think he's hiding anything while he sort of hunts for information. I'll quickly show you NLP eyes, because I do like to confirm it as well. Images, auditory digital, things he's thinking of saying. How should he say them? Make it auditory. It's a comically difficult conversation. Auditory digital. What does that mean? It means you're thinking about how you say things and things are said. You know, you're thinking about the sounds of things. Auditory and digital, like developing those ideas, like yes or no. Should I say this? Should I say? That's my impression of it, anyway.
Stays the same the whole time. There are not 3 or 4 scenarios. He's not going back to one scenario every time. He just says,
"We're at the river. They're at the river."
We don't know what happened.
We don't know what happened. She just vanished from the river. He said she went on a dog walk. He said that she got up in the morning, took the kids to school, everything was already done, got the dog. He hasn't said all that yet in this, but he said They're on the dog. Like, anyone, right, who's turned up at the crime scene, it's not a crime scene, is it? Missing persons, we're not opening a proper case. But anyone, am I okay, Chuffer? It is making me irate, this. It is a little bit. Because these guys, and I haven't seen this necessarily yet, so, you know, I'm getting my first impressions. These guys are on the internet. They've got nearly 1 million subscribers. People see them as legit. And like I promised, I explained to you, I'm no more legit than them. They're no more legit than you. They're just people who say they're body language experts. They might have done psychology degrees for all I know, but you can't do a degree in body language. There is none. So they set themselves up as a self-supposed expert, and they're so good when they get it right, but now they've got all the eyes on them and it's important and these people's lives are at stake. And what Emma said about, oh, you know, you can't just go on a hypothesis for someone's life. This is those Nicola Bulley's kids have got to grow up in a world without their mom, and this guy's promising them that their dad's a good egg because he knows what fuck all. He's seen 5 seconds of a bit of an interview and he's got a hunch. Like, fuck, man. Like, and people say, oh, it's bad what you're doing on the internet, Scotty Hottie, because you're saying all these things about Emma because you've got a hunch. Yeah, it's not just a hunch, is it? It's all the evidence. It's everything we know and that we've seen. It's, you put the two stories next to each other and which one stands out and how does she behave and what are they saying. I just don't see how they're getting it so wrong. I don't see how they're getting it so wrong. You like my hoodie? It's Rage Against the Machine, Battle of Los Angeles. I went to the Battle of London. Battle of Wembley, Rage Against the Machine. I bought myself a little tour hoodie from a charity shop several years later.
Just like she vanished. No idea. I have no idea what happened.
Yeah, that's what he's saying. Look at his face, for Christ's sake. Doing his best Emma impression. Come off it, man. Come off it. How are you getting that so wrong? You can see so many sellouts who betray themselves. Yeah, do you know what? I think there's a difference going on. I think one of the things that I'm lucky for here, right? Echo 444, I'll blow my own trumpet a little bit, is that, like, somebody critique... Okay, let me get this out properly. Ghastly true crime, right? An armchair detective and all them. I'm entering into their wheelhouse here, aren't I? I'm not a true crime channel. I come here and talk about what I want, and now I'm in their wheelhouse. So now people who watch this and watch that and watch the Armchair Detective are getting exposed to me and my channel, right? And I'm different because they've done a true crime channel because they want to make it big. They want to be making money off the internet doing their true crime channel, right? What other reasons, that's what they want. For me, I've got different drives. I've got different desires. So people assume of me all the time. I'm talking about me now, blowing my trumpet a little bit, but it's important that, like, it's been noted in chat, and I want to just tell you for why I think you're right, okay? Because if I go to Battery Exhausted, my B-side channel, which I go to here, YouTube Studio. No, I don't go to YouTube. I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot for labouring this point as well, but I want to show you why I am actually authentically... what am I doing? You're pressed it wrong again. Idiot. Your channel, that's what I'm doing, right? If you go to the channels, Battery Exhausted's my first YouTube... No, yeah, I think it was my first YouTube channel anyway. Videos, go all the way back. So the first YouTube video that I dropped 8 years ago was me at Stoke Football Ground being interviewed by my friend with his documentary camera because we're making a documentary about Eddie Hall. So my first foray into media production was a little bit of ASMR because I was listening to ASMR videos to help me sleep. I made some ASMR videos and I made a documentary about Eddie Hall, Britain's Strongest Man. That documentary went onto Netflix. So if I search for informal films... I'm not some big chuffer, bear this in mind, right? I'm not some big chuffer. I'm actually, before we released that, I did this, the ASMR road trip. Like I said, I did a bit of ASMR. And I had my own little channel. So this is 7 years old now, but this is a documentary I made. Look.
For each other. Why is that woman tapping on that box? Why is he rubbing a paintbrush over a white canvas? You know, what are these people into?
ASMR is a lovely, relaxing feeling that you get often in the top of your head.
It's completely mysterious. I don't think...
So I make media, yeah? I'm on YouTube. I'm not on YouTube to get 1 million views and earn money. I'm actually trying to, like, before I was on YouTube the way I am now, I'm trying to make a documentary and sell it to a bigger company like Netflix. So that one went on YouTube because it was my first practice one. Yeah. Then I was on the documentary crew for Eddie Strongman. So that was Matt's film more than mine, but that was a big success.
Years old, 6 feet 3 inches tall, 385 pounds.
I still get like a little tingle thinking about this now, because when we shot this trailer, or when Matt shot this trailer, we were just at the start of the project and we had no idea where it was going to go. And we were just interested in this guy and his journey and his desire to become the world's strongest man. It's a bit of a lowbrow thing, in a way, isn't it? World's strongest man. It's on every Christmas. Hey, working people. Hey, you know. It's not like highbrow stuff, but we took a highbrow approach to it. We wanted it to be cinematically shot. We wanted it to be looking into his soul and his psyche. We've got these beautiful interviews. We look at these people, look at these interviews, look at this cinematography. Matt did a fantastic job. There's Jeff Capes. Only people in that room with Jeff Capes was me and Matt. Like we made this film. I was on the shoot all the time. At first holding a microphone and then a camera, and putting my ideas in. I became associate producer. So before I was making little videos on YouTube, I was doing something that probably most YouTubers would hope to achieve after you know, bigger than you. Not blowing my own trumpet here, yeah? Independent filmmaking, not blowing my own trumpet. Things have changed a lot since then as well, right? I didn't see YouTube as a money earner. I saw it first as a place to show my little videos that I've been cutting on the process of doing Eddie Strongman. Like, we've got that, you know, I've got my little film company. I'm making my little videos. They're going on the internet so that you can see my work. Like, that's me. That's my work. I'm filming this. This is a show reel for my company.
It's raining again.
Yeah?
I couldn't be happier. Swish,
and then whoosh. So, like, you know, I'm doing that. And then I've got my own little channel. Where am I? Well, I'm doing too many windows now. Too many windows. I've got my own little channel, Battery Exhausted, which is just where I'm putting up my scrapbook stuff. Like talking about veganism, like doing little stuff. Like, again, there's no point financial here, no point financial. And at the same time, I've got an ASMR channel. This is 8 years ago, where I'm making ASMR videos. And again, I didn't even monetize it. Like, it's not a financial concern to me. So if I get big on YouTube, and here I've got videos that are like in the hundreds of thousands of views. So we're talking about 400,000 views, 200,000 views, 200,000 views. That didn't mean that I wanted to make loads and loads of those videos and make loads of money. They weren't even monetized. So it's nice that people like them. I don't still do them. Like, it's just a thing I did for a bit. And now what happened was we had COVID. So my last film that I was making, I took $2,000 of my own money and I went to Sweden. If you go to videos here, it's on this channel at the moment. There's a draft of it. Not Battery Exhausted, sorry, what am I saying? On the Super Chuffer channel. Blowing my own trumpet here again a little bit. But you go to indie. This will all come around to why I'm saying I understand why I think I'm able to be more authentic than these other people. I've made an indie game about indie game development. Sorry, an indie film about indie game development. Yeah? I've made a film about it. Here it is. I'm trying to sell this. I'm trying to get it finalised and finished.
You can make a male voice and a female voice. Let's see now.
And just like babbling? You would say anything in particular?
No. Yeah, just like that. Just like
So-
ba ba boo ba ba boo boo.
Okay.
And then we can cut each ba or each boo.
So I got that on the chopping board, yeah? I got the draft. Here it is. If I want to sell it to like Netflix or something like that, I need a contact in the industry. Me and Matt have fallen out, my friend with the Strongman film. We're repairing our relationship a little bit at the moment, but we made this film together. It never got sold. It's on my chopping board, and I don't have a contact in Netflix anymore or anything like that. So I had a bit of a depressing come up against a brick wall with that. That's what happened. It's the truth. It's not a big success. I spent my money. I went to the rave. I got my video, but I haven't sold it anywhere. So then what I said to myself is, I'm a carer for my nan. It's COVID. I can't do any work, essentially. I'm a carer. So I was a carer for, like, you know what COVID was like. You know what COVID was like. We stayed in, didn't we? I stayed in with my nan, and this just sat on the editing board. Like, that was like my film, my life had come to a grinding halt. So then when we got let out from COVID, I had this opportunity. What am I going to do now with my life? And of course, I can't just step straight back into this. I'm skint. I've spent 2 years at home being a carer on £60 a week. That's carer's allowance, £60 a week. I went down to Universal Credit, and all that stuff. I was on the Universal Credit. I'm not anymore, but I was. And when I started up again, I said, right, what we'll do is we'll do live streams, right? We'll do YouTube and Twitch, and I'll talk about gaming, and then I'll show them my film about computer games. And eventually I'll get some payoff for my film, you know, like I'll set up a live stream, I'll drum up some interest, and then we'll show them the film as a big premiere. And then even if I don't make lots of money, I can call the project an end and I can move on from it. And so that's how we started streaming now. And so now I'm a media producer that's predominantly streaming, right? What we're trying to do, you don't want to hear my life story, get back onto Nicola. Yeah, but I feel like saying this because someone else in chat said it. So I'll get back onto it, I will. And it will show you why I feel like I'm able to be more authentic. What I'm trying to do now is I'm trying to build up this channel so that with these tippies that are coming through, with these coffees that are coming through, I've got a track record. You give me $2,000, I'll give you a film. Yeah, a full film. It's on the internet now, you can watch it. Yeah, I spent $2,000 to $6,000 on that. About $6,000 total, like with my time and my editing and computer software and other stuff. But $2,000 to get us out there and to do the film. Yeah, right? You give me £500, I did the ASMR road trip film. There's 2 of my documentaries available to watch on the internet. Yeah, for you, for free. One was £500 budget, the other was $2,000 budget, which extended the more I'd spent money on it later. But what I'm saying is, these tippies go in a kitty, right? Let's say the Nicola Bulley story. If you want someone to cover it properly, with proper interviews, with proper camera work, with proper editing, I can do that. I can do that. I've had a film that went on Netflix. Yeah, so the quality of media that we can produce is a step up from what we're doing now. I've shown you examples of it there because people are saying get on with it. I'm not going to show you those examples again. I've shown you the examples. They exist. We're building a fighting fund here. Your tippies are coming in. We're going to do memberships. I'm going to keep streaming. And I'm going to be an independent media producer that funds the media production through the audience like this. And then when we produce it, I'll probably just put it out there for free for you. Members first, probably. You know, members priority, but probably get it on the internet now. Forget Netflix and forget those people now. Just let me make it and put it up there and keep it going. And every year, if I'm get up to speed, this year we're going to go to a convention and then we're going to do something in the winter. But if we can get up to speed, I can produce maybe 4 feature length or maybe shorter, maybe more or less, something like that a year. We can be producing a step up in media production terms. And that's where I want to go with it. That's my end goal. It's not to get 1 million subscribers and have adverts on my channel and sell you the chocolate milk through a sponsor, although that's all really good now because it's providing the fighting fund. I'm different to these other YouTubers. So Grizzly True Crime, her end goal is to get 1 million subscribers and be the most popular videos in the true crime space and make money off the adverts. You're doing all your shorts and you're doing all your marketing and you're making all your thumbnails. Like, I care. I'm not. Don't get me wrong. I'm not lying about this. Yeah, I want to make money on YouTube, and I care. I don't care as much as her. Like, I'm not in that same. Like, my end goal is different. You see what I'm saying? So I'm able to just be myself and have a different desire. So if you're finding it authentic, and you know people are supporting me in chat here and stuff like that, I think that's fair enough. I think that's why. I think I can identify why, and that's why I get this bad feeling from these people. Coming back to the Nicola Bulley case, there's a lot of people on the Nicola Bulley case that have been running channels and failing, right? You know, things have not been going that well, right? Let's check it out. Let's have a look. Maybe I'm wrong. Let's check it out on Social Blade. There's a limit to how much they can achieve, maybe. I might be wrong in this, but I get the feeling that they've jumped on the Nicola Bulley case because it provides financial remuneration, because it gives them like a payoff, because it's popular, you know? And so I worry about people who are doing things for the right or wrong reasons. Look at this. Look at this. I was totally right. This is the Armchair Detective, the real one, yeah? Look at their numbers. Look at their numbers. Flatlining. Lost a load of numbers in September last year, 21. The Nicola Bulley thing happened, boom. Boom, mate. January 21, something happened and it went up, and then it flatlined again. Flatlined, and then Nicola Bulley, boom. Boom, Nicola Bulley. Flatlining and then boom. I've seen a similar effect on my channel because of Nicola Bulley. I'm not going to milk it. You know, I'm not going to be like here to, right, I'm only doing, from now on I'm a Nicola Bulley channel. You know, you can see it there, look, flatline. Mine would probably look very similar. to be honest. I've only been doing it for a year, but like, mine probably looks similar. I see why they do it. You know, if you're running a true crime channel, this is what you've got to do. You haven't got a choice because you're running a true crime channel. But I don't like it. She's doing better, B. She's doing better, look. Things have not been so good this year, though. Until Nicola Bulley, things have not been good this year. She's been better in the past than she has. But it's not as bad, look. Seen it all take off this year since September 2022. And then big for the Nicola Bulley stuff. Again. So it's her channel was dying. And then it's reignited with the Nicola Bulley thing. I'm not dying, I suppose. It was on a downward trend, though. She'd built it up and then it was on a downward trend. Don't know what she did here on this day, but she lost a load of views then. She must have switched off. This is a worry. I've done it recently with some of my channels. I've tidied them up. But she's had a big video there, or a couple of videos, 146,000 views. And she's decided to delete that video and turn it off for some reason. That happened. So maybe she changed her mind about a video that was out there. Maybe people had a bad reaction to it and she got rid of it. But yeah, what I'm seeing about these true crimers is this is their feeding frenzy. Nicola Bulley to them represents a whale that has fallen into the sea, and they're, you know, all there, the bottom feeders, you know, they're all there. Dina says he deletes your chat. I hope you're not saying about me. I don't do that. I hope you're talking about the true crimers, because I don't delete your chat. I can't be arsed with it. So yeah, like, I get, for the Nicola Bulley thing, I get that feeling about it. And so coming back to this, again, it colours the way I read their response to this. It colours the way, like, for the body language channel.
I couldn't be happier. Swish,
and then whoosh. For the body language channel, it's less so, you know, because they've got other irons in other fires. They can do Harry and Meghan. Do you know what I mean? I can do other things. I mean, I intend to. But for true crime armchair detective, it's all he's got. This is everything for him. This is his big chance to make some money, because he's been fucking grifting and getting nothing. For, like, okay, he probably gets his members, and he, you know, but he's not been getting anything off YouTube, you know. Silver bought me a coffee. Going well, dude. Thank you. Joby bought me a coffee. Top stuff chuffer. Look at Emma again on Marsh Farm vid as she turns her bad hip is so obvious. She moves in exactly the same way as in the door cam sketch. Do you mean the Marsh Farm? Welcome to Marsh Farm Hall. We could have a little look. I'm right about the panel. Crack on. Thanks. I hope I'm not being too... I told you today I was a bit tired. I told you today I was eggy. So, you know, deal with it. Like, we are humans and we have different facets. And this is a different facet to me. My eggy side. Thank you very much, Sylvia. I'm glad to check that. That was quite a big one. Thank you. And, you know, I feel like I'm doing good here. I feel like I'm getting a positive response. So I'm really grateful. Thank you. And I'll tell you something, it's staying in chat about deleting things. It's been said in the comments as well. I don't delete anything. Every now and then someone says something that's really off, or, like, you know, comes to advertise a website or something. They can go. But everything else, different opinions, I'm fine with. But YouTube itself is not fine with certain words. They're a bit strict. So check. What I would do is, if I were you, I'd have 2 YouTube accounts. And you do your comment, and then you switch YouTube accounts. It's very simple and quick to do once you set up on your account to have a second one. And then when you look at it, or get your friend to look at it, and if they can't see your comment, it's not me that's deleted it, it's YouTube hasn't put it up. Do you know what I'm saying? Because I'm not that quick.
That's why I think we're looking at somebody who's most likely innocent.
Right now,
eggy bread.
It is as though she has...
Neil Warden with the eggy bread in chat.
Vanished into thin air.
Quite often, when a person has guilty knowledge or they're involved with a person missing, they'll give several examples of what they think may have happened, and they'll keep going back to the one over and over again.
God, man, that just sounds like it's Paul, doesn't it? That's a description of Paul. He's down at the river. Yeah, I didn't like that one. Like, to me, these videos, it's like they're saying, here's an example of what someone who's guilty would do. And then they get Paul out, and he does it, and they say, but he's innocent. Like, what's going on?
His tongue at the back of his teeth and kind of a sarcastic smile that will indicate frustration. And then at how are you coping? You see increased respiration as a questioner starts to make this real to him. He then
big heavy breaths. Yeah. So he's got his tongue at the back of his mouth like he's sarcastic, and he's got the big heavy breaths. Yeah, I get that. That sounds like it's guilt, doesn't it?
Goes to an emphatic downward movement at just the girls, and that's it. There's an appropriate amount of eye contact. We associate people who make too much eye contact with trying to persuade you. We don't see that. And when he's talking about comfort, you see some...
You do see the eye contact, actually. Thank you. We do see a lot of eye contact, but it's not one thing. You can't say because he's doing the eye contact, he's guilty. You know, so we see what he calls an appropriate amount of eye contact, but I could read that both ways. I could say, like, do you know his baseline? How often he makes eye contact? Does he make eye contact as much in the other episode, in the other video? Because it looks like to me he's making quite a lot of eye contact here, you know?
Persuade you. We don't see.
Yeah, Kerry, you wrote bollocks earlier and it didn't delete it, and I'm reading that right now, so it hasn't deleted that. But what I think it does is it deletes. AD does delete. I see what you mean, Dina. Sorry, the other bloke deletes them. Yeah, he probably does. I'll tell you what, if you haven't seen my comments on his video, then he's definitely deleting them, because I said, why did you rip off my video? So I think he deleted that. But Google AI is clever. It will let you say a swear word or something if I allow it in my... Because I haven't blocked any words in my chat, you know? So it's going to let you say it. But if you said something like Trump and Elon Musk are doing things with Jews, then it's going to bin it off. And now that I've said that, it's probably going to have a problem with today's episode in terms of ad revenue. And this is the other thing. People think you get a lot of ad money on YouTube. I'm not big on that, like I've said earlier, but the ad money I get is always problematic, because these cases and these things we talk about, YouTube seems to think they're not due for monetization, whereas the bigger channels are clearly monetizing theirs. So it's weird.
See that? And when he's talking about comfort, you see some pain in his lower face as the sides of his mouth withdraw. And then
pain, or is that condescension? And is he discomfort, pain? Like, are we talking about someone that's recently been through a fight? Has he got scratches on his neck and a bruise on his eye?
His blink rate goes up when the guy says something about hope. I think he realizes he should have said hope, and he feels awkward about it. Nobody wants to say,
yeah, that's a sign of guilt.
Hey, I don't have any hope for this person. I don't think what we're seeing is guilt, but what I do think we're seeing is a person who's feeling maybe some personal remorse for not having said, hey, we still got hope.
So you think this man is feeling personal remorse? Well, I just want to get your words. Like, I'm not body languaging the body language guy. It's too meta. But I want to hear personal remorse. Personal remorse. Like, it's like when people say words that aren't the words I would normally hear that I understand, I want to know what they mean, because sometimes people don't use plain English and I find it difficult. So personal remorse. What is personal remorse? Shameful, hurtful, or wrong. It's attached to guilt and self-directed resentment. So it's a nuance of guilt. So what you just said to me is you don't think he's guilty, but you think he's showing guilt.
What I do think we're seeing is a person who's feeling maybe some personal remorse for...
And the idea there, and I've seen it suggested in comments and in chat, the idea there is that the personal remorse is, oh, I should have done more, or I should have noticed, or I should have prevented, or, you know, it's my fault she's gone off the rails. Like, maybe you feel that if you've been bullying her at home, or, you know, whatever. Or maybe you also feel that if you've done something like cheat on her, and then she's turned up and Nikki's grabbed her and smashed her head on the floor. I mean, I don't think they've brutalised her in that way. I don't think they have, because you wouldn't get away with the autopsy. Unless, I can't wait, like, in a way, it's like, you know, I can't wait for the autopsy. We're not going to get to see it, are we? We're not going to be party to all the detail. But if there's broken bones in any place, that's it for me. And they can say, oh, she could have broken them while the police fucked it up when they dragged her out the river. Yeah, when the police didn't put up a big tent around. You know, when you see a body, you don't, do you? You know, when you see a body in the street, you don't, do you? Because they put up that tent around it, don't they? You know, and I'm dissing the police here a bit. I don't want them to come for me, but I feel they're being underfunded, and really one squad car or two squad, or whatever it was. Like, you needed a full response for that. You needed the tent. You needed all those forensic people there. Like, just out of, even if just for show, it would have looked good. But yeah, dragging her out the river, like, let's put a rope around her and drag her out the river up the bank, so that when the autopsy reveals that there are broken bones, you can say, well, that's where we attached the rope. Anyway, like, how long have I been going now? Look, 2 hours. This is about as long as I wanted to go. I'm getting into my stride now, though. I can't believe they're saying this. He's told me that he thinks he's guilty, and then the title of the video is "Frustrated, Not Guilty."
Not having said, hey, we still got hope. The eye blocks, and then he disclaims how insane that this whole thing could happen. And you see his face is some confusion as the sides of his mouth go up.
Come on. The cadaver dog might have found the body if it was already in the river, potentially. But I don't know how well they searched with the cadaver dog, and I don't know like how close to the river the culvert needs to be for the dog to smell it. I'm not an expert on cadaver dogs. I'll say that. So I don't know, but yeah, Gandalf gives tired from yesterday's marathon. I'll tell you what, I'm tired from yesterday's marathon. I haven't even got into it. There's so much to get into from what happened. There's so much to unpack. I want to do a couple of body languages on Phil himself. I think it's about time I did, because there were a couple of really big tells. But obviously we all know, don't we? But yeah, this is all distressing for me. The thing I don't like about it the most is that you shouldn't really say that he's not guilty. Like, I just think it's a step too far. Like, if anyone thinks that me saying he's guilty, and that's my major suspicion, and like, it could be Emma, it could be him, it could be this, it could be that, but, you know, my major suspicion. But for you to put in your headline that he's not guilty before she's been found, before even the second interview, you've nailed your colours to the mast. You have to back that up from now on. And it influences so many people that see your content. I think that's terrible. Right, next short.
Right out of the gate, don't be comparing this person to someone you've seen in another video where they've been, for sure, they're guilty. It's a lot of people are saying, it's a lot of Chris Watts going on here.
Right.
Don't do that. Don't compare these
Why not?
people to each other. You can start comparing the things you see behaviorally with that, but not at the top, because you have to get a baseline first as you're going through.
What? I think this is ridiculous. Don't compare Paul Ansel to a recent case of someone who went through something similar and was proven to be guilty at the end. Because you don't have the baseline for either case. No, I don't, but I don't need it because I've got the non-baseline. I've got the thing they're saying on the interview. It's like saying I'm a policeman and I've taken Paul Ansel in for questioning, and I've got quite a good idea that he might be guilty here based on the interview that he's given us. And the man says, yeah, but you didn't see him the week before, did you? So you don't know his baseline. Like, yeah, but it's the things he said. It's what he said he did. Like, this is from that interview now, isn't it? This is from that interview. He got changed into his gym clothes. All that stuff. Like, you're saying that I'm not allowed to be... You somehow, body language man, can do your body language week in, week out on your videos. I'm giving everyone a kick in here on the internet, aren't I? But I love these body language people, and I've watched a lot of them. I'll tell you something else before we give people a big kicking. Where's Bombard? Now, Bombard's body language had to become body language ghost because they put her off the internet because she just went too political, frankly. She just went too political. That's what I think anyway. But I used to really love her body language analysis, and it's a shame that she's no longer Bombard's body language as was, because that was a really good channel. I've learned a lot off her. She's a very good body language analysis. I can't advise you watch her because unless you are heavily politically minded an American, it's not going to really appeal to you. And unless you think Trump is brilliant, it's not going to particularly appeal to you. And it doesn't particularly appeal to me anymore. And she's definitely got an agenda, and it involves all this international politics of America. So, you know, it's a bit... She's gone her way. She's gone her way. But that was someone I really respected. These people, not so much. And this behaviour panel, I did respect until I've been watching this now. I did respect them until I've been watching it now. Because you're going to tell me that I can't read Paul Ansel's interview because I don't have a baseline. Yeah, we all suffer from that. We mention it all the time. All of us body language analysts. It would be good to have a baseline. Yeah, I don't. No. But then nor do you when you're doing the murder body language, Murdoch or George Santos or like Alex Murdoch, Chopper Reed. Like, how do you have a body language baseline for... I mean, you could get one maybe for Prince Harry or Giselle Maxwell. You could probably get one for them. But how do you have a body language baseline for this woman who murdered her husband and, you know, you didn't know her before she was in court? Or, like, You know, some of these you're going to say you can get a baseline for them, but some of them you're not going to be able to because you didn't have any knowledge of them before you did your video. Like, it just seems ridiculous that we're at double standards now. But yeah, go on.
If you see things at the beginning that you understand to be cues of deception, don't stop and focus on those. Don't stop saying, "Oh, I see it. I saw one, so I know what that means." No, because those are going to come in groups. So you want to wait. You want to wait, and it may mean nothing, and he may have just accidentally done that. You know, his shoulder go up, or he may do something with his mouth, or he may show disdain or disgust or whatever. Don't focus on that. Take in all the information you possibly can. Wait. Be patient. You're not going to be able to tell by asking him one question. You're not going to be able to tell squat.
Okay, that's great. We've got a full 27-minute interview, and you can compare it to other criminals, extensive interviews. Like, we're not talking about what this is like a straw man. This is like saying, because when I did the interview, I remember, and on the channel I will confirm, Super Chuffer, I find that they're being really condescending. Is it just me, or am I condescending? Because I think I am condescending sometimes. Like, when you're telling people what you think all the time, it might be that you end up, it's a bit like a teacher, isn't it? Like a teacher who like feels smarter than the class in a way. Like, they're talking down to us in a way. If I go playlists and Nicola Bulley's playlist, then when I started, I did the review. I did 11 facts. Her friend came out and did 11 facts. So I just reviewed the 11 facts. So it was an interesting video. And we saw, like, for me, it's like I said, I do lots of different stuff. This one got a few views. So I said, okay, the Channel 5 is on today. What I'll do is I'll record that. I'll edit it off so that we can watch it. And then I'll react to it, you know. So I did my first impressions of the Channel 5 programme. Basically, Paul Ansell's body language. And then I did another one where I red flagged him, and I had to do 2 of those because it was such an extensive episode of red flagging. So I agree. I didn't just look at one thing and then make up my mind by accident. Like, I've done extensive review, and before I did the react to the thing, I watched it once live and then I edited it. You know, not edited it to make it different. I took out the rubbish, the adverts and stuff like that, and put it on the, you know, do you know what I mean? So that video that Armchair Detective ripped off from my channel, my friend Sentries. So I know that I've not done what he's just accused me of, or whatever. I know that I've not done that, yeah? But they've cut a 56-minute short to say don't do that. And what?
Beginning that you understand to be cues of deception. Don't stop and focus on those. Don't stop saying, "Oh, I see it. I saw one, so I know what that means." No, because those are going to come in groups. So you want to wait. You want to wait, and it may mean nothing, and he may have just accidentally done that. You know, his shoulder go up, or he may do something with his mouth, or he may show disdain or disgust or whatever. Don't focus on that. Take in all the information you possibly can.
Right. So the problem here is the short is telling you, like, this short shouldn't be called Nicola Bulley Mystery. Don't compare Paul Ansell to criminals. It shouldn't be called that. It should be called Body Language Basics. How to start body language analysis. You know, it should be. So it's what they've done is they've labelled it with the yellow ribbon and Nicola Bulley's name so they can get some views and clicks, and it has nothing to do with it. It's really just a vague piece of nothing, isn't it? It really is a vague piece of nothing. Again, someone's handed me a piece of paper with nothing on it, and I've clicked on it. They've had the view, they've had the AdSense money or whatever it is, they've had the promotion from it, they're selling the mugs and the t-shirts. Do you know what I mean? Like, we're going to have to start selling mugs and t-shirts, aren't we? But, like, isn't it strange to me that there's no content there? I thought you might tell me something about body language and Paul Ansell, but instead you used a vagary to defend him. Seems strange. Paul Ansell's stress is not always deception.
This constant self-soothing, adapting behavior on the leg, we see this in response to stressful situations or a desire to, you know, get comfortable because...
So it's this guy again, and we all saw this, didn't we? The rubbing of the leg. You saw this, didn't you? The rubbing of the leg. Paul Ansell rubbing his leg. We all saw that. I'm doing it now. You can't see me rubbing my leg off camera, so it's just weird. I should stop doing it. Oh, they did a McCann video, did they? I didn't see that one as well. Like, he's rubbing his leg, yeah? He's rubbing his leg, and we all spotted that, and it is a sign of deception. It's part of they said before, you can't just take one thing. So it's strange to me that they've done a video and said you can't just take one thing, you've got to look at the whole picture. And then this guy's like, yeah, forget the whole picture, look at this one thing. right? And then he's rubbing his leg. We all clock this. He's got sweaty hands, but there's more to it. I remember doing the analysis twice. There's more to it. It's like you can't. A lot of the times he was doing this with his hands and making gates, showing us gates, fences. In fact, I should review it one more time now that I've got a more solid idea of what I think happened. But gates and fences, and his hands are in his lap, but he's pushing it forward while he's rubbing on his leg. It's an aggressive act toward the interviewer. It's self-soothing for sure, and he's got sweaty hands for sure, but there's more to it in a subtle way because of the way he's doing it. But yeah, and he's also, so there's lots of reasons why that indicates for deception, but this guy's going to tell me categorically it's not. It's in the title, look, it's not always deception. It's like they're his defense team. Why are there no shorts to say it might be a deception, it could be, keep an open mind? What they're saying is categorically not.
As a person doesn't feel comfortable, it's a natural reaction. Stress does not always mean deception. The key thing is here that there's no compulsion for him to control it or hide it or prevent it from coming out. This shows us there's no internal desire to control stress responses, which suggests we're dealing with someone who isn't trying to force a perception on us.
So naive, so naive. So naive, right? Have you seen how Paul is sat? Have you seen how Paul is sat? He's leant right back in his chair. If I sat right back in my chair now, my lights don't even pick me up properly. You know, I'm actually attentive to what I'm doing here, so I'm leaning forward. Sometimes while I'm watching videos, I might sit forward like this on my hand and watch the video. You do it too, don't you, you chuffer? When someone's talking to you around, you know, you sat in a chair, you might be chilling, you might be having your little smoke, and then when someone's, or whatever you do, and then when, you know, drinking a glass of wine, and when you're getting into a good chat, you might lean in and start talking to your friend. You know, you might lean forward to pay attention. What's not happening here for Paul is he's not displaying any of those signs. His other hand is kind of fixed or pushed against the sofa. It was in his lap before. He's leaning back. We remember this interview, dead in the face, dead eyes, no expression of like having a poker face means that, oh great, you don't look guilty because you're not doing all the guilty expressions, which he did some of. He did do some of micro expressions. We did see them, but it also means you can't be showing your your happiness or your sadness or your reality because you're doing a poker face. So that's holding everything back. He's leaning back, literally, like he said to himself, don't sit forward and get all animated. Lean back, be chilled, don't let anything out. So the reason his hand is pushing forward and back on his leg, sometimes in this interview it was doing this, and he thought to himself, this is too much. Subconsciously even, I'm doing the symbols of gates, and I've talked about the I hold back. So putting your hands in your lap, I don't know if you were ever at school and you were messing about and the teacher said, put your hands in your lap or put your hands together, you know, so that your hands are occupied and they can be put down. Stop fiddling with that. Like, it's almost like the thing he's doing, rubbing his leg, is he's controlling it so much and holding it in so much that it has to get out some way. And he's just doing that with the rubbing of the leg. And you're saying to me that it sings of innocence because an innocent person wouldn't try and hold back their body language. And that one little hand moving is enough that he's not trying to hold it back, he's letting it go. And I'm saying to you, don't be naive, don't be an idiot. What he's doing is holding back so much that all he can let go is that little hand movement. And even that, he's letting that go because he can't hold it in. But he's sat back, he's leaning back. His other hand is kind of occupied by holding something. His hand that he's moving is supposed to be occupied by being in his lap. He's trying to appear calm and cool and poker faced, and he doesn't even, you know, oh my God, you've taken the opposite of what I thought you would take from that. You've explained the common sense, and then you've used it to say the opposite thing.
Coming out. This shows us there's no internal desire to control stress responses, which suggests we're dealing with someone who isn't trying to force a perception on us. The moment we see someone trying to control stress, we're seeing someone with a high degree of anxiety, or we're seeing someone who's fully letting go and letting those signals come out, and we're seeing that degree of fully letting go, which is
fully letting go. Paul Ansel, this is Paul Ansel, fully letting go.
To force a perception on us. The moment we see someone
rubbing his leg,
desire to control stress responses, which suggests we're...
See, then he did it. He picked his hand up and he dropped it down again. This is Paul Ansel fully letting go. Fully letting go. Look, hand up, and then down again. Oh, that's in rewind. This is in real time.
Responses.
He forced it down. His hand came up, right? And he thought to himself, oh, I brought my hand up there. I'm starting to be all expressive. I'm just going to put that down. Stop messing with your hand. Hold it in. It's the opposite of what's being said. It's the opposite of what's being said.
Suggests we're dealing with someone who isn't trying to force a perception on us. The moment we see someone trying to control stress, we're seeing someone with a high degree of anxiety.
You say there are trolls in the house, did you, Kerry? Like I say, I let people say a lot of different stuff in chat, so I'm not aware. But if anyone feels they're being trolled, you know, highlight it and I'll ban people off. I'm not having people be rude to each other. They can be rude to me a little bit, but, you know, to a limit. And then, yeah. Can we compare his hair? Yeah, someone asked me to compare something else as well. Actually, I'll do it on the fly now while you're asking me. I've had such a lot of tippies. They're paid for you to ask your question. Don't worry. If you tippy me, I should do it right off. But, yeah, go on then, Karen. Let's have a look. We're looking for also the... so I would send you to Send Trees here for this video rather than looking at Ghastly Crime rather than she getting all the views. Every time someone wants to see this CCTV video, they've got to go to Ghastly Crime. So I've uploaded... Send Trees has uploaded it here, look. And, yeah, we're talking about his hair in this, aren't we? This is what people want to see. So... let me bring up a second window. There you go. Let's move this so you can see him nice and big. Nice and big. And I've made it so big that it covers my damn... hang on, this is the way to do this. Smaller, smaller. Stop messing me about. Let's bring this side in like this. Let's bring this side up. Sorry for doing this on the fly, but, you know, this is the way we do it. And let's just make it big, big, big. So there's Paul Ansell's hair, I suppose. I find this really difficult, though, because the whole of his face looks distorted and funny. And that is weird as fuck. Like, you could tell me that's Paul Ansell, yeah? Or you could tell me it's someone wearing a rubber mask. Like, you could make that mask out of a piece of A4 paper on. From this distance and with this quality of CCTV that's been... the CCTV appears to have been shot from... it could be someone's phone for all I know. Appears to have been shot from, you know, on the driveway or whatever. It's poor quality. We're in the top corner of the image. So we're not even bang in the middle and, you know, zoomed in or anything. We're in the top corner of the image. It's warped because of the lens on the camera curves things. You can see it on the walls and the floor down here. It's warped because of that. And then you've got, it's been, from whoever shot this originally, whether it was on a phone or on a CCTV, they've got the original file. And then they've taken that file and they've edited it. And you can see they've edited it, specifically on this. The right-hand side on your screen now is a black line. There's a black line there. That black line appears where the image jumps. So there, it's not there. And then the image jumps and it appears there. So that's not on the original. If I move my camera now, you're not going to see a black line at the side of my stream. It's all going to move. Do you know what I mean? You're not going to see a black line, are you? That black line happens in the editing software. So someone's taken the original, put it in the editing software. At some point, they've moved the image in the editing software to the point where it's created that black line. Yeah, that's happened. We know that someone has coloured the bins in black to black out the numbers, and someone else has gone over the top and put that blur on. We assumed Ghastly True Crime, because she said she did. Ghastly True Crime has put this blur on and this blur on. She said she did. So two people, someone's got the video. They put it in editing software. They've edited it. Then they've exported it or screen recorded it. Ghastly True Crime has then got that file. She said she sent it to AD, but what she could have done is someone could have showed it her on a damn Skype call or, you know, on a Teams call or whatever, and she could have screen recorded it. That's an option. I don't know how she's got it, but on her computer at some point she's got a file of a recording of the screen or the original, you know, somehow it's gone from one editing software into the second editing software, finally up to YouTube through Ghastly True Crime. So you imagine this whole process that's gone on, yeah? Like she said, you need her exact, well, I don't remember her exact words, but I'll paraphrase. You need the original file so that it doesn't suffer from, what she meant to say was it suffers from loss through compression, but she didn't say that. But so a problem we've got here is that when we're now looking at Paul Ansel in this image, like, look at it. Like, I could do a better CCTV with a potato. I'm like, that's what it looks like. You've got a limit on the number of pixels. 1, 2, I can count them individually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's like 20 pixels. You know your images in chat, you know, your little emojis and stuff. It's about the same quality as that. Whatever you can glean from that. And my problem with this that I find really difficult is his face isn't like that in real life. Like, his face isn't like that in real life, is it? There's something going on his face that's weird. So there's a good way to pause it there. What is this thing here? This line here? This black line here? What's that? Is that his beard? Is that a full beard leading up to poking out down the bottom? You can see his hair and the line there, you know, you can sort of see his scalp, you think, yeah? So you think it's cut quite short. To analyse the hair here, you see it's kind of, it looks like it's cut quite short around the sides and top and back. I mean, it almost looks like a lockdown haircut. You can't get a very good look at it, but it almost looks like a lockdown haircut. You know, in lockdown, we couldn't go to the hairdressers, could we? So people had to cut their hair at home, and people made a big pig's ear of it. It looks like someone's shaved a patch out the back almost. It looks patchy in the back. And it comes up very... If that's his ear, which I don't know it is, but you assume his ear to be around there, then it comes very high up behind the back head of his ear. Very high up there. Let me get another window then. I'll have to use another Firefox window like this. And... we're going to get send trees, get the interview, and I want you to see it as well, so I need to form you another window now. Oh, doing a lot on the fly here now. Let's just put new window capture. Yes, that's fine. Okay, skip the ads. Is it this? The other one, he's got his hat on, I suppose, so it must be this interview that we're looking at. Is this right? Yeah. Tell you what's absolutely standout at this juncture is the difference in skin tone. Like, there's no way that's the same person because of the skin tone. It's not about being light or well lit or whatever. Maybe he's gone a bit red because he's doing the interview, but the skin tone is completely different. Is that a bruise on the cheekbone in the CCTV? It's hard to say, isn't it? It's so, that bruise, if it were there on the CCTV, is literally 8 pixels wide. So there's some discoloration, but it could be shadow. It could be, you know, and that also, because we know they've doctored the colour on that CCTV. Like, I can't show you now because, again, my editing software is in a different computer, but you know how you go on your, everyone knows this these days, you know how you go on your photos and you mess with the filters on your photo. So you can change the colour balance and you can make it look a bit more blue or a bit more white or this or that. You know, when someone started messing with those sliders and settings, that's it. I can't tell you if it's his colour or not. I can't tell you if it's a bruise or not. Because you can make it green. You could look like a fucking alien. Like, it could be anything. As soon as you start messing with it and editing it, and we know that 2 different people have edited that image on the right. We know that 2 different people have edited the image on the right. How much they've edited it, they will never say. But we know that 2 separate people, one is supposedly Paul's friend, who somehow has gained access to the footage, So maybe 3 people now, because whoever had the footage initially has put it on their computer, edited it, and then exported it to get it out to the next person, who was then sent it. You know, all that is a problem to us, isn't it? So I'm not happy with the skin tone. Let's see if he turns his head. Let me, you know, I want to see him with his head turned so that we can get a good view of his head. I suppose that's the best view, isn't it? Like that. Let me just move it around for you. Messing about a lot now, aren't we? So that patchiness is the grey on the back behind his ear. That might match up, I suppose. What do you think? Are we saying the patchiness here is the grey behind his ear? What I'm not seeing that makes a huge standout is here we've got like a line that looks like almost like a hair parting. Here, it almost looks like a parting. It looks like it's longer on the top and it's shorter down the back, and he's parted it maybe there or something. We're definitely not seeing that on the Channel 5 image. There's a consistent, in fact that's the darkest aspect of his hair, that part of it. In lengthwise, has he recently had it cut? It looks like he's had it neatened up for this. Like, I'll tell you something you can notice for the image, for the interview. Something that's very clearly noticeable is it's all tidy around the back end of his neck. Any gents in chat will know this, won't you? That this part of your neck here, that gets furred up quick. That's, you know, when the barber goes round with the and they go around and finish that off. So he's had his hair cut before this interview. Or someone has tidied up his neckline within a week. Because that grows back, starts to fuzz up. You know, that hair grows down. Like if I can show you underneath, like this hair here. You know, it grows down your neck. You know, anyone who does hairdressing in chat, you know, tell us if you agree or disagree with this. Anyone who's got hair, tell me if you agree with this. The neckline there looks very clean and very neat for Paul. So he's had his hair cut before the interview. I mean, you would do, wouldn't you, if you were more concerned with your media image than you were with your dead wife? Like, because she's already dead. Fuck it, it doesn't matter. It's on the interview. Like, you know, if you're concerned with finding your wife, you wouldn't go to the hairdressers. You wouldn't have time for that. So he's definitely had his hair cut before this interview. Has he dyed it here? Is that a part of his hair that has white or grey in it, and therefore has come up white or grey on the CCTV? Like, even as he moves, it's all the way around to the back there. Or is he wearing something around his head? Is that a headband? Is this person wearing a mask? Is that a headband? Is this face the same shape and angle as Paul's? I think personally I'm going to say yes. I feel like we've got similar forehead placement, eye socket depth and nose. It's similar. Big ear. But at the same time, it almost looks like a plastic mask being held on with tape around the back of the head. I don't want to throw you curveballs and get you, you know, suspicious of things that are not true. Do I? I don't want to make you worry about things that are not true. But what is that around the back of the head? I mean, that would be extreme to be wearing a mask around the back of your head, so that would be off. Is he wearing an eye patch of sorts or something? Around the other eye? What is that on his head? You were saying his hairline's different. It's a slightly different angle on this interview picture. We can't quite get the same angle out of the interview. Can I get it out of this? The problem with this is, like, one move is a big move here. You know, one frame is quite a lot. The man almost looks skinnier than Paul, doesn't he? God, I can't believe you've made me do this. Now it's thrown. I didn't even have a deep look into Paul. I didn't zoom in or have a deep look in. And like I said, I don't think we've got enough pixels to really get a good go. But that, you know, that's not even a face anymore. That's almost so creepy I don't like it, and I think it must be an artifact of the camera. It's Paul unbrushed, saying here in chat. It's Paul unbrushed hair in jacket above his neckline. I'm looking for something that isn't there. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe. You know, someone in chat just asked me to have a good look at this, so I'm having a good look. I'll tell you what is there, though, that no one else seems to be speaking about, is that there's either something around his chin, to it, like a full beard, or there's something around his chin. Like, the beard looks strange. He almost looks more angular and more sharp than Paul. I'm a bit unsure as to what I think now. Like, sometimes it looks much more natural and sometimes it looks very unnatural. Is his ear swollen or is his face swollen on the one side? Face mask, someone in chat saying. What is going on? Okay, so there's two anomalies here that we have to, in some way, decide what's going on. Is I think his big ear and the lower part, well, three then, the big ear and the lower part of the face with the beard, and then this going around the top, whatever's going on with the top of his head. That's not acceptable. Why have you got that weird line on your head? It's been there the whole clip. So is that natural? Do you dye it? Or is it something taped around your head or what? Why is your ear so almost like big and unnatural? There's no definition in there. Do you know what I mean? There's no, like, we're zoomed right in and it's huge on the face. And there's no, it looks so smooth. It looks almost like a, you know, molded out of modelling clay rather than a real ear. And then you've got this beard as well, which is quite a lot fuller. So he's obviously had a haircut and tidy up before the interview. We know that. We know he's done that. That's 100%. So they're saying that his hair is shorter on the CCTV than it is in the interview. Therefore, it's not him. Or is it the other way around? I'm confused. His dog stepped on a bee. Headphones upside down under his chin, maybe? Maybe. We don't care, Scott, they're saying. There's some people, a lot of headphones in chat. I find that one a very difficult one. I don't know what to say about it, really. I'm sure lots of people have lots of ideas. Tell me in chat, tell me in the comments what you think about, you know, specifically in the comments of this video, and I'll review them in order to decide what we can think of it. Yeah, frame by frame, there's a lot to go over in this. It totally fits his physique. It totally does fit, though. It is, in my opinion, a good enough match for Paul. If a slightly more aggressive and angular looking Paul with a stranger ear and some kind of white stripe on the back of his head. Cauliflower ear. That's what I'm feeling about. You know, we're talking about, production staff would have done hair and makeup. You're saying. I'm not saying this can be a huge psyop where everyone's involved on some sort of psyop. I'm not accepting that sort of thing. I think it's just ridiculous. I don't want to say just ridiculous and poo-poo people, but I find it too far-fetched. I think people fuck up too much. You know, you can't even get me a damn vegan burger in a restaurant without messing up. How are you going to mess up? How are you going to organise a psyop? You know, Boris Johnson can't even, like, the people that are at the very top, you know, can't even steal the money without getting caught, let alone, you know, a psyop. Is the cat coming in the window now? Yeah, that was the cat coming in the window. Come on. I think he's wearing headphones and gym gear. We can do another episode. I'll tell you what then, we can do another episode where we dig deep into this CCTV and we take out little things that you tell me in chat and we have a real zoom in and have a look. You say look at his legs. But I think that's where I finished looking at it now, right, myself, because it's just too much. Like when it's in such small detail, the problem with this is there's not enough detail. So it's not, even if you saw like he had a knife or something, it's not admissible in court because this has been edited twice and there's not enough detail. So like we can use it for big things, but not for this minutiae of the detail. And I think the problem is when we look into the minutiae of the detail, part of it is being lost in the quality of the image. So it throws us and it fucks us about. You know, what are you going to do? Julie says she's emailed me. Thank you. Like I promised, I wouldn't check my emails every day, and I probably won't. And not everyone that emails me will get a reply either, because I can't sit and reply to every email, but I do check it intermittently. So I will have a look at it. I'll try and look at it. And like I say, in that email folder, you can imagine I get a lot of stuff and a lot of spam as well. So I try and have a look, but tweeting me and saying it in chat and stuff like that is probably the easiest. But we've also got the Discord, like I said earlier. Long nose, long beard. Okay, so we've looked at... Anyway, look, we'll do that more in depth in the future if that's the way we go with that. Let's turn that off. I've got a second window now with this, haven't I? Let's turn that off. Have we got any more from them?
Control stress responses, which suggests we're dealing with someone who isn't trying to force a perception on us. The moment we see someone trying to control stress, we're seeing someone with a high degree of anxiety, or we're seeing someone who's fully letting go and letting those signals come out, and we're seeing that degree of fully letting go.
He said when someone
trying to control stress, we're seeing someone with
it's ridiculous.
We're dealing with someone who isn't trying to force a perception on us. The moment we see someone trying to control stress,
trying to control it,
we're seeing someone with a high degree of anxiety.
Yeah, we're seeing anxiety, yes, because you're trying to control the stress.
Or we're seeing someone who's fully letting go and letting those signals come out, and
we're not seeing someone who's fully letting go, because you just told us they were trying to control it. So if they're trying to control it, they're not fully letting go. Those things are incompatible. They're opposing positions. You're either controlling it, trying to control it, or letting go. You're not doing both.
We're seeing that degree of fully letting go.
This guy's talking shit. That's my review. 7 out of 10. So, what are we up to now? We're 2 hours and 46 minutes. So I'll tell you what I'm not going to do. I'm not going to do their 2 hour episode. I'm probably not even going to do the 18-minute one now. We'll have a quick look into it and we'll set it up for our next episode. Because you know me, I've done their shorts and it's took us 3 hours. I like digging in a bit deep. I think it's fun. Hello, Super Chuffer. Sorry you're feeling rough. I'm not feeling too rough. I'm just a bit tired and a bit eggy because I'm a bit tired. You know how people get. And I want to play Genshin Impact tonight. I'm actually running a bit late to even start doing that, so I need to get off this and onto that. And tomorrow weekend, I'm not going to be here on Saturday, but I might be here on Sunday for that Sunday service that we suggested. Send us a voice message if you want to get on the Sunday service. If I've got a bunch of voice messages and it seems like fun, we'll do it. It's Mother's Day. So a lot of people might be doing their Mother's Day, but we'll do it in the evening time, more towards the end of the evening, midday, end of the evening sometime for a Mother's Day Sunday service. And because I think a lot of you are online on Sunday, and I think it might be worth doing an episode when more of you are online. Do you know what I mean? So we'll have a look on Sunday, see about that. You don't know what a SARP is, Wendy. Some people think that like the MI5, the CIA and the government and even above them are organising fake events that then get put on the news. So the idea would be that Nicola isn't really even dead, maybe, or maybe they did kill her, but they're all in on it, and it's all a big, everyone's in on it, and they're all actors, and they know what they're supposed to say. I don't believe that, because I think it would take too many. It's like the Truman Show or something. But the Truman Show would only work if every member of the cast never fucked up, and even in the Truman Show, a member of the cast fucks up every now and then. Yeah, I don't know. But some people might say, well, they do fuck up and we spot them like this. Let's finish with just a little bit of the rest of this, and then we'll do a palate cleanser, and then I'll go and play Genshin Impact on Twitch, sorry. And you can join me there if you want, but it's a totally different vibe. Why are Nicola bullies? This was why he should not be the prime suspect, and it's an 18-minute video, so they've got their advertising money on this one. Look.
Talk about Paul Ansel, and he's the boyfriend of Nicola Bulley. She's the one missing.
Nicola. She's Nicola.
In England. Greg, why don't you tell us about the videos we're going to watch?
It's offensive to get the person's name wrong.
Yeah, so this is just an interview with him, the only one I've seen so far. Nicola Bulley went missing on the 27th of January.
I've just realised that full whistle piece is This Old Man Went Rolling Home, which is a song that you learn when you're a child, so it's got even more insipid connotations.
January, once she was walking her dog. She had logged into a Teams call at 9:01. She was seen walking her dog.
No. Her phone logged into a Teams call at 9:01. So that's not guaranteed. She was seen walking her dog, and then they retracted that. One witness got that wrong. You might be better off saying eyewitnesses reported her walking her dog, because they don't guarantee that they've seen her.
At 9:10, police believe she left the phone on the...
People have gone to the death penalty for stuff that turned out DNA evidence. Turned out they hadn't done it, but the witnesses thought they saw them. So, you know, people can be wrong.
At 9:20, the call ended at 9:30, but she did not disconnect. And another dog walker found the phone at 9:33.
I mean, you're left sort of trying to make sense of the census, aren't you? It is just such a mystery.
Yeah, it is. There's just no... Every single scenario comes to a brick wall, every single one of them. And then all we're doing is sitting there going round and round and round, going through every scenario, and then go back to the first scenario again and do the whole thing again.
Well, isn't that what they... Do you remember we just saw a short where the guy said that somebody who was innocent would only say, I don't know what's happened, and they wouldn't have lots of different scenarios on the table, but someone that was guilty would bring lots of different scenarios to the table. And you're telling me that in your private conversations with the family, maybe, you're going around all these different scenarios with them. I mean, hello?
And then... I think it's just all day long. That's all we're doing. That's all we're doing.
How are you coping? It must be so difficult. Like you say, your focus is on the girls. And
We've seen this anyway. Where have they got their edit from? I wonder if they used my upload as well, or whether they went to Channel 5 themselves. They certainly cut off the Channel 5 bit for some reason.
The Behaviour panel. I'm Scott Rouse. I'm a body language expert and analyst.
Well, that was a different video, wasn't it, actually? I didn't upload that one.
Enforcement in the military and interrogation in body language. And I created the #1 online body language course.
And then here we go. Like, they've got these, every single episode, they do their credentials and say why they're important and special and they're correct.
So far.
Which is good, you know. I used to believe in some of those credentials and used to think that it was a good grounding for that. Like, I remember it saying at the start of today's episode even that they do this and it's their thing.
Yeah, so as he starts off, right, as he says, that's all we're doing, you see distaste or disapproval at the sides of his mouth. He's got kind of a heavier set face, so he's not illustrating as much, his muscles aren't moving as much in his face.
He's not got a heavier set face at all. What are you talking about? He's not got a heavier set face. Like Mark Bowden down there has got a heavier set face than him.
So you got to pay attention to him. But his head illustrates exactly the duplication of effort as he's moving his head back and forth. And we say illustrates, we mean...
Well, they've just been up and down the river that day.
And you're punctuating your thoughts or phrases. And we see that as he's moving, indicating some frustration. As he starts that, all we are doing, you see his tongue at the back of his teeth and kind of a sarcastic smile that will indicate frustration. And then at how are you coping, you see increased respiration as a question. Or
we just done this one as a short.
Feeling maybe some personal remorse for not having said, hey, we still got hope. The eye blocks. And then he disclaims how insane that this whole thing could happen. And you see his face at the last part is some confusion as the sides of his mouth go up and his brow goes down.
You mean as he does a smile and then tries to hide it?
We associate that with confusion and some head shaking. All that congruent messaging, and this is insane. This is not possible. Mark, what do you got?
Yeah, so I know a lot.
Again, I couldn't be happier.
Thank you, Diana, for the tippies. I'm surprised that guy, again, like what they seem to be doing with this is reading Paul Ansel for what he's showing you and then like accepting it as real. But obviously someone who's trying to hide things and has a bit of an inside knowledge about what body language he should show you might be doing these things to throw you. So like it seems a bit strange. Great show. Watch your live stream early hours on the Grizzly the other morning. You made me laugh, but explained how the video had been spliced so well by someone. Yeah, thanks. Like, you know, I'm surprised that she did such a bad job of sharing a video. Thank you for the £12. I'm surprised that Ghastly True Crime did such a bad job of sharing that video and doctoring it. Yeah, don't know why.
A lot of people have their eyes on this individual. Why would that be so? Well, he's really the only person who's been interviewed for the public. And look, if there is a homicide, it is statistically high that it's going to be the somebody to point a finger at, and you...
Okay, he got cut off saying it there, but he's basically saying, look, it's quite likely that we should be looking at Paul Ansell. Like, he's got his head screwed on this one, Mark Bowden.
I've only got one point a finger at. It feels, kind of okay to... It's already statistically low that it's homicide in the first place, because then they're not very common in the UK at all. UK's about 6th in the world.
How accurate is the phone data as in position? Very accurate. Yeah, very accurate. The police will be able to get those pinged off the mast. However, whether the police have got those pinged off the mast, we don't know. Because if it's a criminal investigation, they can go to the phone company and they can say, please send us the data for this phone. If it's not a criminal investigation, if it's a missing persons, I don't know to the extent of the investigation that takes place, and I don't know the extent of the powers, so I'll only be just saying I don't know. But phone data will be very accurate, which is why they use the phone as a decoy. Because it's a good idea. Like, you don't have to actually have Nicola and drag her around the field. You just take her phone down there and make it look like she's been there. It's a really sensible use of the phone as a decoy, in my opinion. If you mean specifically on the bench or on the floor, again, witnesses' accounts not so good, not so accurate, and the phone itself will not be able to pinpoint it to the phone or the bench or the floor. And to me, both are irrelevant, because they're both, like, you don't leave your phone lying around, whether on the floor or the bench, and it's just been taken down there and dumped there to make it look like she was down there, in my opinion.
World lowest for homicide. And if it is the intimate part, if it is a homicide and it's the intimate partner, statistically 80%, it's more likely to happen in the home.
In the home, yes. Which is why I'm so concerned that we're not looking at the home of the people that are, this is why Paul Ansell murders his wife at home and says, how do I get away with this? I have to make it look like she disappeared from somewhere else. Because if the last place she was seen was at home, if the last person that saw her was me at home, then I'm going to get caught. Missing grey bin sent tippies. People seem to think there's a missing bin in the... okay, I'll check your tippies and then I'll look at the bin. I will. Because I'm labouring my point there, aren't I, about Paul. The reason he's covered it up and made it look like she was by the river is because anywhere else but home, please. Paul took me to Blackpool Beach after I was stuffed in a culvert. Yeah, maybe there is a bin missing and they've utilised... I mean, that would be... you would think a bin would be a good thing that you could use, maybe. So thank you for that. Let me just quickly check. We're talking about this CCTV, aren't we? There's a missing bin. My question to everyone out there, because I don't have the answer to this, it's up to you. I wonder whether this bin at the far end might have been the bin that's supposed to be there. Sometimes I move my bins around and don't put them back in the same place. Maybe... Or are they OCD and every bin always goes to the same place? Is there a bin further up and out on the driveways anywhere? People have questioned about the bin day, which day it is and which day is bin day and all that. People have also been asking questions about this foliage, whether these trees...
I couldn't be happier. Swish,
and then whoosh, thank you, Claude Baker. People have been asking whether this tree would have been in full foliage during the cold months of January as well. There are questions to ask yourself and to make your own decisions about. Me personally, I'm not an expert on any of that, so I'm just raising the conversations. Have I got on the horses? It's only a TV license money, nothing important, thanks. I do think the BBC are really important. If we could only get some good people in at the top to run it, we should really have a thank you very much, that's really generous of you. We should have a really we should have a really you're generous, and we should have a really sensible and serious independent media like the BBC, beholden to us, the taxpayer. That's important. But unfortunately, the bad chuffers seem to get the run of the place a bit, don't they? And in terms of horses, being a vegan, I tend not to gamble on horses. So I'll be putting it in the fighting fund for making content, but thank you. And then eventually at some point, if we can get the business going to where it's making money, me making content, also employing a couple of people, an editor, a couple of other people involved in the production process and team members, to be on the screen with, then I can start paying myself. Once I'm paying those people, I can pay me. And then, this is going to be my life. So I'm hoping it's going to go well. Thank you for your support. Yeah, with that CCTV then, bin day, bin questions, there's a missing bin. To say that there is a bin would normally be placed there, and currently there isn't. That's what we can say for sure. I don't know about what kind of bin lid you get down there. I don't know whether we've got green, we've got recycling, and we've got red, which I would assume is their version of general waste. So I only have 3 bins out there. I don't know if you have 4. but people are talking in chat as well about the grass and stuff. I mean, the thing is as well, saying about colour, like if the grass looks too green or the bin looks too saturated red, someone has messed with the colour on this image. Someone has edited it. So they've just got, you know, like these Instagram sliders, you know, there's contrast, brightness, all that stuff. That can be messed with really easily. So I don't know who has and who hasn't. You know, red is cardboard, apparently, they're saying in chat. I don't know. Thank you, Emmanuel, for the heads up. Red is cardboard. And Womble with the £3. Thank you very much for the super sticker. Got the avocado with the thumbs up there. The Grave Kipper, yeah, I'm the Grave Kipper. I went through various iterations of name on the internet before we settled on Super Chuffer. So I've been Super Chuffer, I've been Ganjikidd, I've been Grave Kipper.
Again. I couldn't be happier.
Bob sent the tippies. I'll check the tippies and then we'll get back to the body language people to have a little bit of a finish off. The male friend that's in contact with Grizzly was Mike Lee from a Facebook group, apparently. Interests were abandoned buildings. Again, thank you for the tippies and the tip, you know, for the money and the information. But I can't factually verify it, so I can't, you know, unless it's there in the raw evidence. But I'm interested in the concept. It's an interesting concept. I don't know. I can't promote it on the internet like it's a fact, but interesting concept. Everyone's heard it there now, so everyone can make their own minds up. Yeah, let's listen to a little bit more of this. I want each one of these to at least say something, you know.
And not out in the open. So look, I just want to give you another statistical bias to look at this with, other than the statistical bias of we've got one person and it's the partner pointing the finger there. Here's one thing that you're not going to see in the body language. You're not going to see any grief in the forehead. Why? Because he's wearing a hat, so you can't see it. You can't see anything going on there. It's cold as well. Not much movement in the face. He's from the north of England. Going to be pretty stoic. He's from Lancashire.
Are you telling me because it's cold, he's wearing a hat and he's from the north, that you're not going to see body language to indicate his guilt? What? That's the statistical bias. Like 80% chance he could have killed his wife based on statistics, and then the other thing is he's wearing a hat. What?
The more kind of negativity for anybody who.
Can you find the Behaviour Guys video for next stream so you can watch me go through that? I think this is it, isn't it? Or is this something different, the Behaviour Guys? Let me check for you. If it's the Behaviour Guys, I find that incredibly sexist. What do you mean the Behaviour Guy, just the Behaviour Guy? This guy, the body language guy. Because I watch him, he's alright. You know, I don't know, maybe him, maybe this guy. I don't watch it all the time, but, you know, I think he's alright. 7 out of 10. I mean, I don't know him, do I? So, like I was saying, he's one with the books and with the set, you know. I could have a look, yeah.
Knows Carl Pilkington.
There are several Lancastrians here in chat. I'm not saying anything negative about them. I'm just saying that the fact that he's from the north doesn't mean that he doesn't display body language.
Not from Lancashire. But there's some similarities in terms of the kind of the negativity that goes on. The kind
Although
of
I would
the
say, I said this at the very start of today's episode, that the Americans find it difficult to analyse the British because they don't see the cues. In America, things are a lot bigger anyway. The people are a lot more animated. They've watched a lot more telly or some shit. I don't know. But you don't see the same cues. Like, there's more subtlety and nuance in the body language that we're reading instinctively as British people watching the British. It's cultural. It's not negative America. It's not negative on them. It's just culturally different.
Venus around the world. So he's not likely to be that kind of culturally optimistic. And so you see that cultural difference between the...
Also, I would be careful about saying like places are soft compared to other places. It's important that if you're going to divide and conquer people, that you should feel nationalistic. You know, Britain first and all this business, nationalistic. But it's also important that you should feel localistic, that you should think that your little area is better than the other little area. We're all in it together. Yeah, people in Essex and people in Lancashire. People are British. We're all human. We're all global. Like, people don't like globalisation and all this, but, you know, we all live on the same earth. More and more that's apparent. If we're going to solve our problems, we've got to work together. So I think it's silly that we should draw these lines around us and sort of say, oh, my little bit, me and my area, we're better than you and your area. Like we do it with football. It's great to do it with football because it's fun and it's a sport and we can have a laugh and sing songs. But afterwards, I don't think the people from London are shit and that I'm brilliant. Like, you know, I just think we're all human together, and like, if I choose to move house and go and live somewhere else, do I become shit or brilliant? I think we need to be careful of being too lost in that. It's okay for a bit of fun, it's okay for sport, and it's okay for banter, but it's not okay when it gets down to actually believing that because you're born somewhere, you're better than someone else. I just don't think that's right at all. And there's a lot of people who have an agenda to make you feel like that, because then they can have you vote for them, and you, like, you know, Boris Johnson got in on all that, you know, nationalism, didn't he? All this, you know, I'm not going to get into the politics of it all necessarily, like Brexit and all that, but they got in on it. And did they do what you thought they were doing and help you out and all that? Do they give a fuck about you? No. So like, it, you know, divide and conquer, divide, you know, whatever you think about it. I just think let's get together and help the world by being nice to each other. Like, if we start off on a principle of fuck you, you're from somewhere else, we're starting off on the wrong foot. Right. Anyway.
The interviewer who's from the south of England going, hey, you know, there's hope. And the northern guy has already gone, look, we keep hitting a brick wall. We push it up the hill and it rolls back down again.
He didn't say that. You've made that out of nowhere. I would stick to what he said, mate.
It's what we call this Sisyphus cycle.
Sisyphus, yeah, who was the guy who went to hell and then he was pushing the rock up the hill and it kept coming back down. Yeah, but that's not what's happening here. You've just added that in over the top. I don't know where from.
Whereby everything that you do returns you to the same place. I think what we see here is...
that's what he wants to happen, though, isn't it? Because it's a decoy. So he doesn't want... like, everything does return to the same place because there is nothing to go. Like, you set up your decoy, okay, and because it's only a decoy and there's no substance behind it, it goes to nothing. And this is the case. Okay, this is really important. I'm glad that I stayed on a little bit longer today and got this thought came to me 3 hours in. So we're going to finish very soon, but we're going to let them all have a little bit of a say and then we're going to finish. But it is the case that there seems to be a lot of mystery, because when you dig, there's nothing there. Because it didn't happen at the river. Because there is nothing there. Because it's a fake, a facade, a decoy. In every other case, when they dug at Fred West's house, they found the bodies in the basement. You know, when you start digging and when you start looking for clues, you find stuff. Because clues are there. With this case, not so much. What they wanted you to see was overtly placed there for you to see. Your inferences and intentions were supposed to be she committed suicide. And if you didn't think that, a week or two later, they told you to think it. Not the big powers that be, but the people who were involved in her murder. The people that were involved in trying to solve her murder didn't do it properly, didn't treat it as a crime. Now they've got a vested interest in covering up their ass. There's going to be an inquest, not into what happened to Nicola. The inquest is going to be into how the police lost control of the narrative. The reason there is nothing there when you dig is because there is nothing there. And that is a big sign, a big red flag. And it leads back. It's like unravelling a jumper. There's no jumper anymore. There's just string. You've got to reel the string back. I remember thinking in my head to I was in the Twitter spaces for the Madeleine McCann case tweets. Very nice lady on Twitter and in the Twitter spaces. And someone else very interesting there from America said that you need to go back and go back. Stop starting at the river. Why are we at the river all the time? That's not set in stone. It's not a fact. I wasn't at the river. I didn't see her at the river. The phone is at the river. We keep going to the river. Take a step back. Start at the house. Tell me again about how she got in the car. You know, and then when we start doing that, all of a sudden, there's a CCTV out now of her getting in the car this last week. All right. Convenient. That comes out now.
She had plans. Oh, she was on a work meeting.
She was what? She was on her work. Pat Butcher coming. Let's listen to this again.
She had plans. Oh, she was on a work meeting.
She was what? She was on her work. Pat Butcher coming. Let's listen to this again.
She had plans. Oh, she was on a work
one's for
meeting.
She was what? She was on her work. This one's for both of them, Emma and Paul. Like, you're both going to fucking fuck each other up. Look. Pat Butcher coming. Let's listen to this again.
She had plans. Oh, she was on a work meeting.
She was what? She was on her work. Pat Butcher coming. Let's listen to this again. You gotta get on the phone. Just tell the truth for Emma for Nicola. Sharon says. Oh yeah, when I was doing that appeal, I wasn't asking Emma to tell the truth. I was asking Emma to grass up Paul. Like, save her own skin. Yeah, I'm not like Emma telling the truth would be one thing. That would be, that would be something else. Paul telling the truth would be something else. I never expect that from them. I just think that they could grasp up the t'other. That's all they've got. That's their only option. Because finally, I'm talking to you now, not to them, but it's same principle. They're going to be discovered. Something's going to come out. The autopsy is not yet concluded. Remember, they're living under the shadow of the autopsy as we speak. So that's the time ticking down. And Emma, Paul, if it comes out as a result of the autopsy, and then the police turn up at your house and they put you in the handcuffs and lead you away, it's too late then. You've got to get ahead of this now.
Plans. Oh, she was on a work.
And you think you're ahead of it doing this stuff, you're way off. So you need to stop whoever's advising you, whoever's ideas, if it's your ideas, it's time to end them. If you've been watching this and you think I'm close, I know what I'm talking about, listen to me then. You've got to step forward and grasp the other one up. It's your only saving. Otherwise, you're both in it and you're both going to go down for it at some juncture. It's not going to be Madeleine McCann where they never find her. We found Nicola now. It's not going to be Madeleine McCann out in Portugal. No evidence. There'll be some evidence. It'll be somewhere. There'll be some evidence. None of us are that smart. Scorpio Nads. Anyone else had issues leaving messages? We talked about it a little bit before. Sometimes Google and YouTube will censor the messages. I'm not doing it. If you find that's happening, have 2 YouTube accounts or a friend check. So you leave a message and then when you look at it, or did you say leaving messages on here? There shouldn't be any problems with that, I hope. This should also be fine. I'm leaving a message. No sound from the microphone. Mine doesn't do it. If you're having that problem, then I don't know how to fix that. Bit weird. Yeah, interesting episode today. So we're going to look for Sunday service on Sunday with the SpeakPipe messages. We're going to unpack more of this and what they've been doing, because I haven't even finished this video. We're too long now for me to... We're 3.5 hours in, so we've got more content here if we want to unpack more of what they've been saying. But I think we've got the general gist of it. I think we've done a good job of getting a general gist. They did do a 2-hour video, so I will be happy to dig into that. That's content for us, isn't it? To look through together. We did our emotional appeal to Emma and Paul. Had lots of tippies come in, and I'm very grateful for that. I'm very grateful. That's massive to me. As I said, I'm not doing this for the money. I'm doing it to put myself in a position where I can become a sustainable business making media, like sustainable media producer, and that the value is in the content. So people want to support it, great. You're helping me to get there. So everyone that's tipped today, you're like a producer. The content I'm making, you are literally helping me to produce. But when we go on and do these next step things, which, I don't just talk it. A year ago, I was talking about getting a podcast together. Now we're doing one. I promised my audience that, you're all here now, but before you were here, like back just 5 months ago, I was streaming to a much smaller audience. And I promised them that I'd get guests on and start a podcast. And we have done. And way back when I was doing the ASMR road trip film, videos, I'm repeating myself a bit. I'm saying thank you now, so you have to accept it. Way back 7 years ago, when I crowdfunded that film, I wanted £5,000 to go around Europe. I got £500 and I went around Britain instead, and I made the film. So ain't no stopping us now. We're on the move. The money I'm getting from your tippies now is much more than £500 for that film. I'm in a position now, and we're going to do it in May. We're going to pick a convention. I've talked about it before. I'm not going to go over the thing so heavy now, but we're going to make something more than just me sitting here talking. We're going to get more guests on. We're going to have more of your voices. We're going to, keep this ball rolling. And I've got high hopes. Let's just say that. And when we create media, I want to sort of maybe finish on this. This gets me copyright every time I play it, so I can't play too much of it. But there was a guy called Tim Hetherington, and he went out and did war photography. So he went out to war zones and videoed and photographed people in those situations. He was a journalist, essentially. And he went out to one conflict too many. You know, he went a bit too close to the fire, like Icarus burned by the sun. He was killed. It's making me emotional now because like this is someone that I really respect. He was killed by stray rocket fire. Just a little, you know, the little documentary trailer. In the documentary, he states it very clearly. Like he's a very, very articulate and intelligent man, and he states very clearly what his role is, what he feels his passion is in life, which is to reach people with ideas and to build bridges to people. That's the quote: to reach people with ideas and build bridges to people. So if I can come anywhere, I'm not going to go on a front line. I'm not in Ukraine right now, you know, live from Ukraine. But if I can come anywhere near to his ideals, not just for him, but, you know, in a way, there's someone that I admire, that I looked up to as a filmmaker who died. And if I can come anywhere near to that, then I'm really grateful and lucky that I've had the opportunity. So I've made a couple of pieces of media like that I consider films. You know, we've got the ASMR road trip. It's about ideas. It's about something nice. We've got the Eddie Strongman thing, which I wasn't the driving force on. But again, it's Eddie's life. It's ideas. It's a human story. I was really grateful and lucky to be part of that. And then I've done that one about... you can actually watch it on the channel, you know, on here. When I'm finished now, you can go here and press videos. And you just scroll down. It's the indie game here one, indie game development paradise. That's the full draft.
Certain moments.
So it's not in HD, and sometimes it chugs because it's on my editing computer instead of being fully exported. But there's the full draft that I'm trying to, you know, get somewhere. Maybe that never goes anywhere, and I have to make the next film and the next film. But I've got 3 under my belt at the moment, and they're about reaching people with ideas and building bridges to people. That's the concept overall of my media work. So if I can continue to do that, these tippies have come in. The next plan is we're going to do a convention thing, you know, a little mini documentary at a convention. We get the things in process, we get the team together, and then I start saying, right, now where's the story, you know? Now where do we need to... Thank you very much, Samantha. Now where do we need to be? You know, now where do we need to be? Like, what's important to... in my life, I've walked past so many memorials and statues. You know, you go in your local town, there's a statue up, isn't there, of somebody or something? St. George or, you know, something like that. Little statue. I don't think I'm going to get a statue made for me. You know, I don't think they're going to carve me out of granite or cast me in bronze. I don't think they're going to do that for me. But media pieces that I create can exist on after I do. And I watched media and it changed my life. Like, pieces of media changed my life. So if we can reach people with ideas and build bridges to people, at the moment, we're on YouTube, we're doing this, but I have got this other thing, this other aspect to my ability. And it's not me on my own. I can't do it on my own. I need a team to help me do this. That's the nature of these bigger projects. So I'm looking forward, and I'm very grateful for your tippies. I'm looking forward to the next one of these we do, and the next place we take that and we see where it goes, you know. And I'm really grateful that you're helping me to build that, and we're building it together. So you are producers. You know, this film was produced by me predominantly, because that film was produced by me entirely. It was a 2-man team, and I did the production. So yeah, you know, now I've got you on board, you know, and thank you for the tippies. Now I've got you on board, all of you. You know, the sky's the limit, frankly. Thank you very much for the £3. Thank you. And it all contributes, you know, every raindrop makes the storm. People say about, snowflakes on Twitter and this and that, you know, every raindrop makes the storm. If you feel passionately about something yourself, and if you care about something and you want to see it change, then you think sometimes, I can't do it on my own, or it doesn't matter what I do. It doesn't matter whether I spend my money at Tesco's or Safeway. You know, it doesn't matter. Thank you very much for more tippies, but it does matter what you do. You know, you matter. You're important. You're certainly important here, like every one of you. Like £3 on its own, Tina. Thank you very much. You know, I can do something with £3, but 100 of you giving me £3, I can do a lot more. So it's absolutely important that the individuals understand, that you understand that I'm very grateful, Tina. Thank you. Like, everyone is important here, and that's why I'm. You got trolled for leaving a comment. Sorry about that, Marv Mickey. Sorry, I don't stand for trolling of individuals here. That's one line that I will not accept. So I will keep an eye on it and let me know what's going on. I don't want that sort of stuff, Marv Mickey, but you do understand it's the internet as well. Yeah, you are all important here. That's why all your different voices are important to me as well. And if people say, like, I poo-pooed the occult, I was like, oh, Ouija boards, no. But then someone came forward and said, no, you look at it a different way. Let's have a little conversation. Okay, let's have the conversation. Doesn't mean I believe everything and I've gone out. It just means I'm open-minded enough to let everyone have their voices and their opinions. I'm not here to change yours. I used to try and do that with veganism, but I'm not here to change yours. I'm here to serve you by building bridges to you with ideas and letting us all see different views of the world and listening to your voices. That's important. So yeah, I look forward to seeing you on Sunday for the Sunday session. For now, I'm going to knock it on the head, a bit like you did with Nicola Bulley. I'm going to knock it on the head and go over to Twitch. I'm a bit late for that stream, but I do want to stream some Genshin Impact this weekend. It's really important to me that I turn up there and do that. It's not financially lucrative, but I'll tell you that. But I've been streaming on Genshin Impact on Twitch for a good long, nearly a year now, and there's a little crew there that enjoy it, so I don't want to let them down. So yeah, you be good, my little Pukos. And if you can't be good,
again. I couldn't be happier.
get your tippies in. If you're watching this and it's offline, you can still get your tippies in as well. I can still say thank you when we start the next episode. This thing is open the whole time. You can do a super chat, a super support sticker. Thank you for £15 there. Thank you. You can do a support sticker on the video itself. There's all sorts of ways to contribute. We're going to open up memberships, but I'm going to reserve that until I can show you what they're worth. I'm not going to just say, give me the memberships, I want the money. I'm going to do the spending the time and the effort first to show you the product, the concept. We're going to do our first concept shoot, and then I'll ask for memberships. But yeah, see you on Sunday. And remember, if you can't be good, this is what I always say, be good